Record.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Truth Runs Deep. I'm Kalli,
And I'm Terryn.
and we talk about all things law and order, SVU, and organized crime. And fic writing, and occasionally whatever the heck is going on in our lives.
Yeah, we did a lot of fic
We took a
writing.
little hiatus
We did. I was sick.
and did a lot of fic writing.
Sick. I was like
Yeah,
horrendously sick last week. I was like, nah, not today. But we did a lot of fic writing
but
in
she's
one.
okay.
Yeah,
Karen is okay, and
I
that's
am
what's
feeling much
important.
better. Yeah, I am feeling much better than I did last week.
Um,
So,
and so
uh,
now we're back.
yeah, we're back. It's almost Christmas.
Um,
Like, it's almost Christmas. Christmas
Yay!
is Sunday.
I
So,
am almost done with school before break. So my kids and I, we have tomorrow, Thursday are we're recording this on a Tuesday. So Wednesday and Thursday are full days, and then Friday the 23rd. Let me check and make sure I have the date right.
I'm pretty sure it's the 23rd.
Yeah, Friday the 23rd is a half day where we're doing like holiday things, movie day, all that stuff. So that should be fun because it's my first like year like being in a school where I'm a teacher and I have my own class where I'm in there for the holidays. So it's very exciting to celebrate all the holidays with them. Okay, that's enough of
You were
my own
talking about like my
life.
college used to do school in December. So like but then we changed that like when I like my freshman year. So they were like, it's weird not having any of you here celebrating Christmas. Like we pretend like it's Christmas in November before you all leave. And then we
Yeah.
so
Well, I
like the
think that's
library had the Christmas tree up in like the first week in November because
oh my gosh, that's funny. I think that's enough personal
mm,
stuff for now. We have episodes to talk about. So the last
in a long
episode we
time.
left
It's been like
off
10
on
days.
was we need to talk about the mid-season finales because we never did. So that's what
Yeah.
we're gonna do today.
Yep.
Bear with us. We have
It's been like
not
10 days, okay?
thought about it for 10 days.
Um,
Obviously, we know
we kind of
SVU, we
have.
know organized crime. Law and Order might be a little rusty.
It's
Bear
okay.
with us. But we have notes, so hopefully it won't go horribly.
Yeah, I mean, we always have notes, but like
Right.
sometimes they're just like random
This
blurbs
time
of
we
like
need it.
things.
This time we really need them.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Um. So first, Law and Order. The episode was called "The System."
Mm-hmm.
Um. The premise is that there was a guy who escaped prison
Mm-hmm.
and held people hostage. Um. And Shaw is like
That's
telling him not to let them go, to trust the system. And he's like, the system is what got me here because apparently he's innocent. And now the
he
episode
kind
is
of
like,
yeah.
did he?
Yeah.
Did he not?
Yeah, the beginning of the episode, we forgot the no lamb scenes at the beginning of the episode where they're talking. We gotta back up a little bit. We're trying, okay? We're trying to remember this honestly. But
I had to give the background before we got to the
yeah,
ship
we
stuff.
did. Yeah. Yeah, basically. Sorry, I jumped the gun there. But
It's
like,
okay. I'm excited about it
you
too.
know, because I was
Well,
excited about it.
literally,
Um,
the first scene we get is Sam and
yeah, it was
Nolan
like,
in the courthouse, walking, talking about the current case,
yeah, yeah,
which
they were.
is a murder case. Troy
Mm-hmm.
Booker. They're approached by a woman, a black woman, and it's Troy Booker's mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Did you not get any of my calls?"
Mm-hmm.
What? Because she's been calling Nolan like
For months. It's been
months,
months, I'm pretty sure.
nonstop.
It's been a long time.
Um, telling him that her son is innocent and he needs to do
Mm-hmm.
something. Then Sam tries to go speak because obviously she's gonna want to go defend their choice and
Mm-hmm.
defend Nolan. And this is something that got pointed out to us
I know, I didn't notice it the
um,
first time. It's like,
on
oh,
Twitter because we didn't notice it the first time. Uh, Nolan reaches out his hand to like tell Sam he's got this, but touches her arm in the process.
no, we're low. We were not ready.
Yeah,
I had forgotten about it until we watched it again. We were like, oh, we love them. Sorry, like that.
This is where we're at,
We
friends.
gotta write some more of them soon. We wrote them some of them. We gotta get back to writing them eventually. Sorry,
Yeah,
we have so many stories we're writing, y'all. Sorry, we say that
so many.
we say that, but we'll get something out. We gotta get the Christmas ones out first, and then we'll get some other stuff.
Karen and I started one yesterday because I was like, we
did.
need to have
We're
something
both writing
for
one
Christmas.
Yeah. We were both writing
Yeah,
Christmas fics.
we
wrote like a post
like
resistance Christmas fic, which is not been probably gonna be published for a while, but still we wrote it anyway.
Post it because you haven't read any of the other stuff.
Yeah, it's not that I'm going to read it for that part, but anyway, I'm writing one, you're writing one, we're writing one together. We had that one. There's a lot. We're writing lots. Anyway, sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, because there's a person like Secret Santa exchange that our friend Annie is doing. So I'm running one for it, and Terryn is running one for it. And then we were both watching clips of Mariska at the candlelight processional in Epcot in Disney World, and Terryn said something, and then immediately sparked it.
I think I said,
and now I'm
Olivia
like,
needs a
we
vacation
need to write this.
I said Olivia needs a vacation. Here we go.
And I was like, I got it. And I'm like,
we've crunched harder.
We have 5 days.
Harder. We've crunched harder. We can handle 5 days.
Let's hope. Let's see what happens.
Anyway, distracted. Sorry.
Back to the episode because we got distracted. Of course we did. Yeah. Troy Barker's mom believes her son is innocent. The no lamb touch. Yeah. Literally, the next scene is
they're in the arraignment.
They're in a courthouse doing like an arraignment. I don't even know if it's like a current case, like the same case or what. But all of a sudden, they hear alarms going off, and Price is looking around like, "What the heck is going on?" A court officer enters the room, and she's like, "The courthouse is going into lockdown." Because he finds out that Booker has escaped police custody. We have Shaw and Cosgrove that show up on the scene, and we find out that the guy who's escaped police custody is Booker, Troy Booker. There is a cop shot on the ground. Shaw tries to save him. He gets taken to the hospital or doesn't make it. I don't remember. Anyway,
he's fine for now. He's fine for now. They take him to the hospital.
Hospital. He goes to the hospital.
He's not dead yet. Sorry.
And then the Shaw and Cosgrove have to go after Booker. They're literally running down the street trying to catch the guy. And Booker decides to take a random hostage off the street and take Shaw hostage in a bookstore.
Yeah.
That's like the cold open, basically.
Yeah, that's basically what the promo showed. So like,
we come back, we find out the hostage is literally like freaking out. She's like, "Please don't shoot me." We find out that she has 3 kids. And I'm like, "Oh God, please don't shoot her." And Shaw, we get information that Shaw is the one who arrested Booker. Dixon shows up and she's like, "What the heck is going on?" They want to do hostage negotiation, but Shaw is convinced her to let him do it before they have him talk to hostage negotiation. So he's talking to Shaw. We find out that he wants like what usually most like people who are taking hostage wants. A van out of here. And that he doesn't have to go back to prison. Shaw's like, "You have to believe in the system." I wrote down a few quotes from the scene that were pretty good. If I haven't made it clear already, we do have to make the note that Booker is a black man.
I had to put some background.
So we got Shaw, who is a black cop, talking to Booker,
Mhm.
the black perp. And he's
Mhm.
like, you need to trust in the system. And Booker's like, the system is trying to kill me. The system isn't good for me or you. You know that.
Mm. Mhm.
Which, I mean,
It's very true. It's a
yeah,
very
thank you
true
for
thing,
picking up what
unfortunately.
I'm putting down. I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
say anything about it,
Like, yeah.
but you can.
Yep.
Um, yeah, like the system is
Mhm.
flawed for many, but especially in the context that that Booker was talking to Shaw about, mm-mm, not at all.
Mhm.
Um, so while Shaw is like on the phone trying to talk to um Booker,
Yeah.
Cosgrove is trying to sneak him through the back.
Mhm.
Um, to, get him arrested and get the hostages safely. He manages to get him. I don't agree with the way that he did it though, because he literally put
Yeah.
the gun right under the man's neck.
Yeah, he
The
did, which
man,
he should not have
yeah,
done. Yeah. It's a little
he should not have done that. And he got very angry and aggressive, and I'm like, I thought we were done with that chapter of Cosgrove. I'm trying to like this man.
Mhm.
And also, we had an entire conversation with our friends earlier that Wolf Entertainment loves showing us violent men,
Yeah.
especially violent white cops.
Yeah.
But that's more for later. Anyway, Booker is arrested for good. Um, they take
Mm.
him. I forget who says this quote, and it was a good one, and wish I remember. I think it was talking about. It was either a quote from Shaw or Nolan.
I don't remember, honestly.
Somebody
No, honestly,
saying
we're
something
dead
about, I
serious
know
about
you're a
it.
man of integrity. I
It's
don't
been a hot
remember.
minute. I should have watched it
Don't
again, but
remember. Sorry.
I was too busy playing a
What
video
I
game.
do
I should have watched
remember
it
is the next big plot point is Shaw is talking to
again.
um Booker. And Booker is like, I
Uh-huh.
didn't so Booker
Yeah.
is in jail for murder. He
Mhm.
escaped as he kept proclaiming that he was innocent and didn't do it. Problem is that when Shaw arrested him, he interrogated him and he got a confession.
Mhm.
But
A coerced
it was
confession.
because Shaw basically said, if you confess, it will be easier for you. You'll only get like 18 months
Mhm.
in jail versus being in prison for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
It will be easier for you to confess. So Booker confessed, but he is still proclaiming the fact that he is innocent of this crime. The reason that there was blood on his shirt is because he was helping the man who just got shot.
Yeah.
Um, Booker's lawyer then gives Shaw and the detectives a flash drive. They play it, and it's footage outside of the nightclub that shows an
Mhm.
entirely different person shot the guy that Booker was accused of killing. And even more so, shows Booker seeing it happen, rushing over to the person who just got shot, and trying to like apply pressure to the wound as the cops show up.
Mhm.
Um, well, Shaw feels horrible
Yeah. It's
because
not going
he
good for them.
prides himself on being a person who like only interrogates people fairly.
Uh-huh.
One of the questions that Nolan asked because Booker was at like a club or something
Mhm.
was, did he seem high? Had he been stoned? Not not had he been stoned. Was he stoned?
Yeah.
Um, is like Shot's like, no, if he was stoned high and had a joint, I would have known. Um, so Shaw just felt horrible because he's like, there, he's the reason an innocent man is in jail. Um, Unfortunately, so yeah, so Shaw, I mean, so Booker is fine. Like that case gets overturned. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, he's obviously innocent, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Until we find out the cop that
Yeah.
we saw earlier that got shot had
Mm-hmm.
died from not from the shot itself, but septic shock from
Yeah.
the shot and
Infection. Yeah.
infection.
Yep.
Uh, we find out that the guy had a wife and young kids.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't pretty. But then they also show footage, and then this is where I get angry, or like not angry, but like confused because they show a footage of like what happened when Booker escaped from the like vehicle taking him to court
Mm-hmm.
and wrestling with one of the cops.
Yeah.
Because they're from whatever reason they're wrestling um for his gun. Um, the gun went off. They specifically said that Booker never pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
So if Booker never pulled the trigger, as horrible as the situation is,
Yeah.
he didn't pull the
Because he's
trigger. He didn't shoot the gun.
innocent again.
He
Yeah.
didn't do like sure the gun went off because they were wrestling for him, and that was the
Yeah.
point. But he never shot the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't
So he's still innocent.
technically he didn't kill the cop.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, now we have to take him to trial again because we do
Yeah.
have a good cop on our hands.
Yeah.
Nolan is now dealing with the fact that he feels guilty for never answering Troy Booker's mom's calls because if he
Mm-hmm.
did, we would have found out that
He
yeah, he
was
is
innocent.
innocent, gotten him out of jail, and no one would have died.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, then we got Sam talking to Nolan. She says, "You can't beat yourself over this. It's not your fault."
Mm-hmm.
Sam supportive of Nolan when he's
Yeah.
feeling down. Yay!
Mm-hmm. I
I
feel
mean,
that.
obviously, do I want it all the time? No. Is it good? Ship wise? Yes. Um,
Of course, we
so then
love
we
it.
got a whole lawyer conversation now that we have the new
Yeah.
case. McCoy wants to charge murder 2. Nolan wants to charge murder 1. Kind of like dealing like the argument I'm thinking of. Murder 2 would be like if he had shot the gun himself. Murder 1
Yeah.
is he never shot the gun, but the guy is still dead.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm on Nolan's side, wanting to shoot
Mm-hmm.
do murder 1. And Nolan is going into this whole like tirade explanation of why he should not be charged with murder 2. And
Yeah.
McCoy says, "Sounds like you're worried you might win." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I think that's exactly what he's worried
That's pretty
about
accurate.
because
Yeah.
he already killed this man by putting him in prison for something he didn't do the first time. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want this man to go to prison for the rest of his life. Um, when he never should have been in prison in the first place. Murder 2 is too much. And you made this note. And you said that you see a bit of Barbara and Nolan with the moral
Yeah.
compass dilemma. Yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like Barbara would be definitely having a difficult time with this case as Nolan as Nolan was too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we get to trial.
Yeah.
The defense attorney is uh literally like I think
Oh,
she said like it was her first
it was their
case too,
first. It was their
which
first murder case. We were like, oh,
oh great.
oh no, we're dealing with here.
Really have a whole ton to worry about. She was pretty good. But she's doing her like cross examination or like questioning somebody, and Nolan immediately goes, "Are we Are we within a mile of a question?
Yeah, she's kind of. I forgot what she was
Like,
talking about. It was a
literally
long
just
time
going
ago.
to
So
things.
yeah,
Then they get I think this is when Booker, I'm pretty sure, is getting questioned.
yeah,
Um, somebody like, so you've been charged. Can you explain? The defendant was like, can you
yeah.
explain what you've been like charged with a crime for when you were in like college or something? He said, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was charged with a crime while I was driving while black. It was like, oh, which sadly is a thing.
Sadly, it is true.
Should it be? Hell no. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me a very conscious driver. Uh, especially because I live in the South. So yeah, it's a lot. Do not want to get pulled over because this is unfortunately the way the world we live in.
Yeah.
Why is my
Okay.
internet
There's
unstable?
that. We'll let you sit with that for a second. Um. Okay. So after that, we find out that the night of the first murder that he was accused of, he did. He said he wouldn't have done it. Interrogated him if he knew he had smoked, but he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Booker did smoke, and he went into the whole thing of like Shaw, basically. Um, said, yeah, you need to confess or you're gonna be in prison for the rest of your life. So
Mm-hmm.
he confessed. Um, but then he's literally like in the van going to trial for a crime he did not commit,
Mm-hmm.
in prison in Rikers, dealing with white COs, white people, everything. Um, and he then we get this big monologue from the guy who played Booker, which I thought was amazing. And he said, "What would you have done? What do
Mm-hmm.
you have surrendered? Like when your entire life is on the line, that type of thing." I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember the whole thing, but just watching it, I was like, "That is amazing." It was very raw. Um,
Oh, yeah, I think he was
we later,
asked like if you were innocent, why did you um resist or something? I
yeah.
can't remember what the question was exactly, but something like that.
Um, so we find out. So yeah, after that, we get more lawyer talk, and Sam
Mm-hmm.
suggests a plea deal
Mm-hmm.
because it's not looking pretty from the fact that there is a dead cop. But also, he never should have been in prison in the first place. Don't make
Mm-hmm.
him suffer for the fault of the system, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, McCoy is like, no, you can't take go. No, no, no plea deal. Nope, sorry. Um, ugh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'll get to that later. Um, we get more trial stuff from
Mm-hmm.
Booker. And he says, I may not be perfect, but people who love me,
Mm-hmm.
um, like very much so, they made a point of saying that their defense isn't going by facts right now. They're going to slowly try to win this case based on emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And as of now, it's working. Because the next thing we get is like Nolan checking in with Sam. What else can we do about this case? They're both like, what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
We go back to court, and what big Nolan's big thing is because we get like a thing of like how he's getting like bullied by a white supremacist, and he got the
Yeah.
gun to defend himself from the white supremacist, but ended up getting in a fight with the cop in the process.
Mm-hmm.
There was no definitive proof that there was a white supremacist going after him. Um, so Nolan's big whole thing for the cross examination is Booker had alternatives. he could have appealed his case.
Mm-hmm.
He could have talked to another lawyer, anything besides grabbing a gun or trying to grab a gun and attack a person that we don't even know,
Yeah.
like, was actually going after him. Um, oh, back to the plea deal thing. So they did try to do the plea deal thing. My mistake. They did try to do the
Oh yeah, you're right, you're
plea.
right. That's like the last next to the last scene.
Booker is like, no, because it's either I'm going to prison for like 25, 15 years when I never should have been in prison in the first place, or life. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
nope, I don't want to go to prison. I shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know if this is at the end of the episode or what, but
The verdict?
no, that's at the end of the verdict is at the end of the episode, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
The next scene that we get is Shaw and Nolan at a
Mm-hmm.
bar drinking together, which I thought was really cool because I'm like, we
Mm-hmm.
finally get an in-depth
They get
scene with
some
these two. I like
interaction.
it was good. Yeah, exactly. They get interaction.
Yeah, that's not
Anything that
what.
we've written about that scene is no longer um
Mm.
well, we find and they get literally get into this whole conversation of Shaw's like,
Yeah.
we ruined this life. That doesn't bother you. And Nolan is like, I'm wearing my guilt on my sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at least I'm pretty sure that's who said
Yeah,
it.
that,
Yeah,
that's
pretty sure.
that's correct. I should have wrote.
Then
Sometimes
we
I
have
forget to say who said what, but
then we have the line where Shaw says, I became a cop to keep innocent black men out of prison. Put them there. Which has gotta be like a shot to the heart for him.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan says no matter how we try, we get no matter how hard we no matter I'm pretty sure how
Yeah,
hard
I
it should
think it's. I think I left some words. I think I was.
no matter how hard we try, we get things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next scene is the
The
verdict.
verdict. Mm-hmm.
Booker's found guilty.
Yeah.
And they literally have like just the end of it is she is just devastated, shaken.
Mm-hmm.
We get cut scene of just like Shaw and Nolan looking at each other, and pretty sure the last shot is just like a shot of Shaw looking at the camera, angry beyond belief
Mm-hmm.
because the system failed another black man,
Mm-hmm.
and she unfortunately was part of it. All right, before we get to the
Yep.
promo, what did you think of this
Mm.
episode?
I think it did a great job of showing the reality that the system is broken.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and it executed it well in a way
Um,
that other shows haven't per se. It's a
I
different
like
approach slightly.
I liked that they had the white lawyer be like, actually no, the young white lawyer because McCoy, I'm ignoring you because you didn't give a
Kind
shit.
of, yeah. He was just like, "Do your job." He was just like,
Nolan, young, still white, prestigious lawyer is
mm-hmm.
literally looking at this case of a black man and it's like, no, this system is flawed. It's totally flawed. And it sucks that I can't do anything about it right now. But I liked how they had Nolan be like, know that there was something very wrong
Yeah,
with this.
yeah.
Um, and it wasn't just like Shaw who noticed it because
Mm-hmm.
he would like with his background and everything. Um, and sometimes they'll have like white people who are just like, oh no, it's just that the system's the system. No, they got the white lawyer who's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is broken. I work
Mm-hmm.
in a system that's broken. It's unfortunately how it is, but it shouldn't be. All right. How many stars?
4.5. I don't know if I can say it's 4.5,
Say
something like that.
4.
Yeah,
Say 4.
it was
I think
good.
it's good. But
There's
like, let's next week. Not next week.
oh boy, well
When
it's
it comes.
no, today's the 20th. It comes January 4th. I mean January 5th. Sorry, January 5th.
The
So not next Thursday.
the next episode.
I don't have the title for it, but it's okay.
We don't know like what like the any of the details around it. We should probably look.
They didn't really talk about that one. I got the information for the other two, but
Organized crime summary, but not the Law and Order summary.
so
Anyway,
we just
the
know what the
promos.
trailer told us.
There's a case that's like horrific. Like Sam is terrified. And
Yeah.
then we get comments from Nolan who says it's very similar to your sister's case.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a scene of Sam, yellow flowers in her office, crying, which I'm calling it right now. Those yellow flowers are coming from Nolan, or help me God.
She is.
Anyway,
Well, right.
Nolan's like
Sorry.
very similar to your
We
sister's
we
case.
we are we love that ship so much. Hold on. We don't know when the episode is called. That's all we really know. Like that's all we can tell you.
So yeah, Nolan's like, you should take it over.
Yeah.
So we get a
Sam's in
case
charge.
that is similar to Sam's sister, who, if you don't know what happened to her, unfortunately, her sister was raped and murdered, and they never could.
They didn't find the.
What person in
Did
jail
they?
who did it?
Yeah.
Officers knew who did it. The family who did it, but there wasn't enough evidence to put him away. So we have a case very similar to Sam's sister's case that Nolan is like, you should go take it. So Sam is taking first chair on a trial for once.
Yeah. Maybe the first time. So the first time. Maybe it's...
Yeah. But she'll like, there have been times when Nolan's like, you can do this one questioning, you can do this closing argument. I think it's been a case where she's been in charge the whole time. Now it will. And I'm very excited.
We are very excited. I don't know what it's called yet. Hold on. I'm gonna try to Google it. I don't know what it is called.
Sam is taking the case, and it's a Sam-centric episode that we're getting Sam and Nolan stuff in court. I can't wait. Yeah.
SV, no. He's trying to put not that one. I don't want. We know what the SVU one is called. I want the Mexican ones. Don't know. I guess we won't ever know. I guess, but cool.
Fun. Okay.
Oh well.
So that's Law and Order. Now we need to get to SVU.
Ah yes.
Which
we need like that we have 3.5 minutes on the Zoom. So do we have I'll make another one so we don't get stopped as soon as we get started. So do we have anything else to put in between before we make another Zoom?
Yeah. When we come back, we will talk about the SVU episode and Trauma and Pear Tree.
Trauma and Pear Tree.
Which is
it wasn't originally called that. It was called something else.
It was like Trauma. It
was something similar, and then somebody was like, "Actually, you should call it Trauma and a Pear Tree." And he's like, "Yes."
And then somebody suggested it be called this, and they're like, "Yes." So now the episode is called "And Trauma and a Pear Tree."
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be back in a minute. Goodbye. Record. Back to here we go. We're back again. We had a whole conversation in between instead of recording.
I have too many job things I have to worry about.
Yeah. Life, adulting is horrible.
Adulting, yeah. This is why I need vacation, because it means I get a vacation from at least one job and I only have to worry about the other one. Although I don't know when they're gonna schedule me. Anyway. SVU.
I was back to work. Recording this podcast. Trauma in a Pear Tree. Lily conversation for this podcast.
Yeah, bittersweet. The most bittersweet episode they could probably give us, because reasons. So sorry if this is the first time you're hearing this. Yeah. But honestly, if you don't know by now, where have you been?
I don't know. We've known this for like 3 months.
Amanda's last, as of now, SVU episode.
Yeah, as of now. We never know. But
The door is still
Yeah.
open. Kelly said it herself.
Yeah, you never know. Anyway,
Anyway,
we're gonna
literally
get through the episode because it's gonna take us forever. And then the
yeah.
promo had a
And
lot
we
to talk
get
about too. So we got like a lot of SVU to talk about today. Anyway,
we get like the beginning is literally like flashbacks to certain things that they're gonna be talking about in the episode.
yeah.
Like one of the I don't remember what the other things were, but like the first one of the ones I do remember is Olivia talking to Muncie and being like, "There's no do-overs in court, so get all your issues out before the trial."
Oh yeah, there wasn't. There was the. It
Um,
was the episode. What's the episode called? It was a
I don't remember.
flashback to.
Like I remember the case and everything, but I don't remember what the episode is called.
It wasn't that long ago. It was like 3 episodes ago, maybe 2 episodes ago, 3 episodes ago. Oh, not this one.
Okay. Well, Terrence looking. I'm gonna keep talking.
Keep talking.
So after we get the flashbacks,
I'm like going through
the
episodes.
first scene we get is we open to like a bedroom and we see a phone alarm going off, an arm reach over, and then
Oh
we
yeah.
see it's Rollins and Carisi snuggling in bed together.
It's very perfect.
We finally get them cuddling in bed together.
Finally.
Also, he definitely has more than 2 drawers. Or actually, okay.
He's living. He is
He's
living.
living there.
Oh,
Forget the 2
it's
drawers. He
22,
obviously
22 for, I remember it's 22 for, or 20, not 22, 24 for the steps we cannot take, I think.
I think.
Yeah,
So.
that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the flashback Olivia and Muncie scene.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get them cuddling in bed. Finally, so we get proof that they're living together, obviously.
They're
Like
pretty
they woke
close,
up next to each other. What else
yeah,
could it be?
exactly. Like, come on.
They're literally just in bed talking, snuggling, happy.
You wrote a fic for
Amanda
this, but didn't finish
says,
it.
I love the way that Amanda talks to Sonny, like about like when she's referring to him with the lawyer stuff. She's like, "What's on the docket today, counselor?" And I'm like,
she's proud of his lawyer
and
career.
he's like dealing with Elias Olsen's lawyer, probably trying to get it delayed again type thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And he's like, I forget what his response is, but she's like, she's like, "Oh, you're nice. You're too nice." And he's like, "Oh, I'm too nice."
And I was like,
"I'm too nice," in like a teasing way, and then he kisses her.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's the best scene. So it's one of the best like romantic scene in the episode. It's very sweet. Like
it is.
I love that scene.
It's so cute. And then I haven't listened to like all the the interviews that Kelly's done yet, but a lot of them said that like her favorite scene doing was like the bed scene because of like the like intimacy that it had. Not necessarily like sex intimacy, but like intimacy, like closeness, like this is what Raleigh finally reached.
And
then
if not, it couldn't get any cuter.
Yeah, literally, as if it couldn't get any cuter. They're cuddling in bed. They're trying to like snuggle up even more.
Because you're like, it's almost time to work. Trying to get those last minute snuggles in.
Yeah. And then the two Jesse and Billy run in the door in their Christmas PJs.
Yeah.
Jump on the bed, and Jesse yells, 20 days until Christmas. And like adults obviously like have to take a second to be like, okay, we're awake now.
They were
Amanda's like, Christmas. Oh, I forgot. And so I freaking love this. It's such a small thing, but Amanda like lifts up Jessie and moves her closer to her, and Sunny sits up and picks up Billy and brings
very cute.
her close to him. Like that's their dad. That's their dad. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. just that's their family. It's just a
Yeah.
tiny like little
Mhm.
things of them bringing their kids closer. It's
Yeah. We don't know if the next
um,
episode is like when, like we know like most of the first few episodes, like the end of the episode is like the actual day. So we don't know if the like Christmas has passed when the episode started, or Christmas is during the episode, or is it like after Christmas? We don't really know. But
as of now, we know that this episode is before Christmas. We don't know about next time.
yeah, this one's
Um,
definitely December 8th, but the end is
they
December 8th.
literally
But
planned it, have like the day that it aired is the day
the
in
last
the
dish
episode.
scene, yeah, the like last 20, the last end dish parts are usually the day of.
Yeah. Like,
So we the end of the episode is January 5th for the next one, but not
yeah.
the before. We'll find out,
So,
I guess. Sorry, distracted.
yeah. So then we transition to like Velasco and Muncie talking in the courtroom
Yeah,
because Muncie's there. She has to prep for trial because she's a
yeah.
like the key witness,
Mm, in this
whatever.
case. Yeah.
Um, which I don't get because well, I mean, I get because she was a big part
Oh,
of
they
it,
were
but
outside
also
first.
Amanda was the one who had to like question like the girls for the
Yeah.
um
Anyway, we don't really know why they
that
did
got
this, but
kidnapped by
whatever.
Olsen too. So it wasn't just that month. It's not just Muncie that they could have questioned. But anyway, um, we get her talking, and Velasquez is like, "Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "No, I'm fine. I can do this." Totally nonchalant about it.
Hmm.
Warning sign number one. Um, I only bring this scene up because we get like more like background information. We find out that her brother snowboards.
Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
we're gonna go. We like made up a
Yeah,
whole head
we're gonna go
canon.
snowboarding, and
Yeah.
she's here.
We made a whole head canon about Grace's brother that
Yeah,
we like ran with that. We're like, I have nothing. Candy can prove literally
we're
nothing. No,
waiting. We're waiting for
no.
Canon to be like, "Here you go.
We're
You're correct,"
probably
or
wrong. We're probably wrong, but we don't
probably,
care.
but
We're
yeah.
probably wrong. But the character we made up is probably better than what they were gonna do, not gonna lie. But
Yeah.
okay. But we love that
Anyway,
character. We have to write some more of
yeah.
him eventually. It's just taking a hot minute because we have so much to do.
Yeah.
Didn't forget.
So, like, definitely. So, yeah, because
I
obviously
write we write better characters in the
we,
canon sometimes.
yeah, we definitely wanted to start writing Muncie because we do like her.
Yeah, we do. Anyway,
Um,
moving on.
Obviously Amanda's first in our hearts, but Muncie's there
Yeah,
too. Anyway,
yeah.
like I know everyone's like, oh, they hired her to replace Amanda. I'm sorry, I see no parallel there. It's two
Not
totally
no,
different
it's
characters.
too different.
They're just mad because
It happened to be at the same. They brought
at
in
the
a
same time
person, and I've
exactly.
been kind of yeah. But
It
we had this conversation
Muncie cannot
before.
be any different than Rollins.
Yeah.
Or I guess we maybe we're not gonna be able to call her Rollins anymore.
I mean, I guess we don't
Um,
know forever.
we'll
I don't know.
get
That
to that
sounded
in a
weird.
second.
Anyway, so we're almost there, but not
Anyway,
really.
Velasco's like, Craig, Carisi wants to talk to you, and she's like, I feel like I've been called into the principal's office, which
Um,
is hilarious to me that
they
this is what she feels like.
have fun. They
Like,
have a fun
because
dynamic.
Carisi used to be like the young person who was like getting in trouble, dealing with
It
the
was.
higher ups.
I just like my mom and
Now,
I were watching season
now
six,
we
this
got the
first
two
season
young
again.
detectives.
Please.
Yeah,
Crazy's wild.
now we got the two young
Like the
detectives who
better
are
ones.
like see him as the old guy, and it's just
Yeah.
hilarious to me.
Yeah, please. I was cracking up because
Um,
that scene where she goes, well, a couple episodes after Carisi comes, Amanda's like, I liked you better with the stash. Oh, we
no,
forgot to
I
put
do
that one
not.
on the list.
No, you
We
don't,
forgot
ma'am.
to put, we don't, but we forgot to put that on the episode, her first interactions with Carisi. Anyway, we did it last time we
Anyway,
recorded, we
so
did the
then
ode
we
to
get
Amanda
another
Rollins. Go
scene.
listen to that episode. It was really fun. If you have not listened to our ode to Amanda Rollins, go watch that, listen to that one.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
So then we get
Anyway,
another scene where Olivia and Finn are like rushing to the
they're
courthouse
running.
because they're getting a call. They got like a text that they need to show up, but they have
Yeah.
no idea what it is. They're thinking it's about the case or something. And then they end up talking about Noah, and then this is the line that threw everybody off.
We're like,
Because Finn says something about Noah being
Law
12,
and
and
Order.
everyone's like,
What?
what?
Law and Order and their timing is horrendous. Like this is like the
Horrible. Like,
like,
seriously, if
bro,
he's 12,
Noah, he's
why
not
the
supposed
frick
to
are
be.
you giving us this now?
He's supposed to be
Especially
9.
because
He's 8 or
for
9 if
us,
you can correctly. Noah
for us,
should be
we've been
8 or
writing
9.
him
Noah
as
is 8.
9, 8 or
Yeah.
9 for over a year.
Yeah.
Like,
Y'all messed it
what are
up.
we supposed to do? Go back and change everything?
No. It's just their
People
plot
also
because literally because the problem is they're incorrectly so bad because when Noah was found, which they have a date for, he was 4 months old. So if you go 4 months back, that tells you what month he was born. So we know when he was born. So in their failure to have Noah in the
and
proper
you
age.
also made the point that if he was 12, it means he would have been born when Elliot was still there.
Yeah.
Nobody
That
knew
doesn't
about him when Elliot was still there.
yeah, literally that doesn't make any sense.
Um,
They goofed
but
real
I
bad on
think
that one.
people have made a point that it's like Finn's sarcastic tone, so
Mhm.
they think it was just a joke. They don't think he's actually 12. But
Yeah.
honestly,
We don't
we may never freaking know.
you never know.
Right now, I'm going with
Let's say
Noah's like
have a
9,
birthday
maybe
party.
10.
Let's have a birthday for Noah and they
Yeah.
confirm how old he is. We will find out.
Um.
But anyway,
Okay. And then we transition back to Creasy preparing to
sorry.
prep Muncie for trial. Muncie, literally fix your attitude when you're talking to him. It's not gonna go well for you at all.
It really didn't, but
He's like,
sorry.
okay, you and me need to prep you for trial. And she's like,
She
okay,
did not know what
so.
she was getting into when
And
she
he's like, have you ever done like testified in court before? He's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, a whole ton of times for gang cases.
not the same
And
experience.
he's like, it's not the same. And she's like, it's fine. I've can't be any, like, she basically made a point. And she's like, it can't be any worse than me dealing with a Bumble date. And I was like, hilarious, but also, no. And
Yeah.
Christy made a point of, right now, this is like a food chain and you're a wild gazelle. And I was like, ooh.
Mhm.
And Creasy then looks at his phone and he's like, I gotta go. He
Mhm.
rushes out of the room and
He dropped
we see something
dropped
drops out of his
something.
coat. And once he sees it, picks it up, looks at it, and she's
He's
like,
like, wait. She runs
literally
out.
chasing after
He's
him.
like, wait.
And he's like,
I
what?
do
She's like,
think
you
the way
dropped
that
this.
that kind of like they made that scene happen is I do love that the execution of that what he dropped. I do
Was
love that.
incredibly important.
Yeah, we don't know that quite yet, but she didn't know that quite yet. But anyway,
She
sorry,
didn't know
it's
it.
coming.
She just like, here, you dropped something. And he's like, looks at it
Oh,
like,
so
thanks. Gotta go. I will make a note about this later when we get to it. So anyway, we get literally Carisi rushing into the courthouse and then to the courthouse elevator, and we have the judge. I think his name is McNamara.
I don't know. We didn't look it up. I don't remember.
Or something like that. Um he's like, are you ready for this? And Carisi's like, as ready as I'll ever be. They bring him to the courthouse and we see Finn and Olivia rushing in, and they're like, Judge, what's going on? And Carisi's like, thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
And Olivia and Velasco are like,
Like, huh?
what is going on?
Really?
And then they turn and see Amanda walking in the room in her white dress with
It's
her bouquet, to which I immediately wrote in all caps, oh my god, they surprised everyone!
they did. They were like surprised we're getting married right now.
Which
They
is
were like,
even more amazing. Like,
I do love that they did that. It's very
and Amanda literally walks in. She's like, her head is down. She's softly smiling at herself, and I'm like, she's so happy.
it's perfect, y'all.
She's
I
soft and
mean,
happy, and I love
we'll
it.
talk about like proper execution of the episode as a whole. We'll talk about that later. But in the moment in the
Yeah.
scene, it is fantastic.
She starts off. She's like, Creasy and I are talking, and she's like, marriage is a lot like a crime. You gotta have a motive,
I love
opportunity,
because he says like a
and Creasy and
partnership.
I
You know, like how Reese
decided
says
that we
that like
need.
I thought about it. I forgot to tell you this, but how like in his we know when Finn and Phoebe were gonna get married. Then he says a partnership is like a marriage. And then he says a marriage is like a crime. It kind of just loops around big circle. If you're not watching the episode, you you don't know what Callie was doing, but I'm seeing her do. She's like, wait, she has the biggest smile on her face when she found out what she
I just
said.
screamed into a
She
pillow because I
screamed into a
realized you
pillow. If you
were
did not
right.
see it,
Oh my
I was
god.
like, marriage. I was like, I forgot to tell you this. I was like, I was pretty sick when I watched it the first time, and I didn't think remember half of it, but I
Oh
did
my
remember that.
god, you're a genius.
I got a good brain.
You need to go
I
put
follow
that on
books.
Twitter, like now. I know it's gonna be in the
Fine.
podcast, but you need to go put it on Twitter
I'm
now.
taking out my phone.
Um, Thank you. Yay.
You're
I will
welcome. As
co-sign it
I'm
afterwards. So anyway, if you didn't hear what Terry said over my squealing, she brought up the point from Wolves in Sheep's Clothing when Creasy's speech says he says a partnership is a lot like a marriage. And then Amanda says a marriage is a lot like a crime. They're freaking taking things from each other and the best possible way. That's such a slight parallel that probably nobody would notice, but now that I know it, I freaking love it. Anyway, marriage is a lot like a crime. You're gonna have a motive, opportunity, and Carisi and I have discussed it, and we know we
mm,
need witnesses. And Olivia and Finn Lester are like, oh my gosh. And then we turn, and Finn looks at Olivia, and he's like, are you crying already, Liv? And she's like, yes. Um,
mm,
she gives Amanda like the biggest hug. Um, and then we have the judge who looks at Carisi, and I love this little line. He says he looks at Carisi and he says,
yeah. Oh
"Counselor,
yeah, I
you're
think
ready
yeah.
for the longest
Oh.
arraignment of your life." And they're like, and I'm like, yes. My one grievance with this scene
Oh, we
is
talked
that
about this
we
before.
did not get vows.
Yes.
Ugh,
Yeah, I feel like they should have
should have.
vows.
It
Maybe
could have been
actually, dang, they
small
probably
and
won't even show
short.
the real. Well, they're having this was their small wedding. Well, we haven't gotten to that part where
Yeah,
they say
so
that this
we
is
find out that after when they go
they're
to like after
they
they
are having a
say
big one.
they get their court wedding and they go to a bigger scene. Actually, before we go to the big scene, I gotta make a note because I saw a lot of people on Twitter who were like, "Oh my gosh, Muncie saved the wedding and they didn't even invite her." Well, she
Mm.
literally joined them like a month ago.
Yeah, they didn't
Do you
know her
really
for.
think they would invite her to the wedding when she just started there?
Well, it's
Also,
been a couple.
there wouldn't be a wedding if she decided to just ignore the thing that he dropped,
Yeah, but
because
go.
the
Where's
thing
the
that he
ring?
dropped
Was the
was the
rings?
wedding ring. There wouldn't be a
There,
wedding without wedding
tweeted.
rings. So technically, should all be thanking Muncie for saving the day
You
and
should
releasing wedding.
tweeted. There, it's out there. Put it out there.
Like,
Anyway,
yeah, like
yeah,
we would not be having releasing wedding without her. So
yes. Give her more credit. Well, right. Anyway, so I did tweet that, but because Kelly told me to tweet that, I just said so now it's out there now. Uh, okay, and
all
then
right,
you
so
just
now
liked and retweeted my
we're
tweet.
at the big like the party afterwards, and
The
we get
party, the party's pretty lit. At some place, but you don't
the
know some place that we don't know where it is.
we don't know. We don't know what the place is, but we get
They
like
were having a
the place.
wedding.
Um,
Their little
and
wedding
we see
reception.
like, literally Rollins and Carisi like looking at each other lovingly. Like her hands are on his arms, and they're just looking at each other and
Yeah,
smiling. And happy
they're so
wedding
nice.
bliss. And then we
Yes,
get this fun
wonderful.
little like all the adults have like glasses of champagne, and I just find it hilarious. Just little, like, it's a blink and you miss it thing.
It is.
But
It's
they
like for
like
comedic
Noah's
purposes,
there.
you have to be paying attention. It's pretty funny.
Noah's
My mom
there.
saw it the first time.
Um,
She goes, "Did Velasco give Noah champagne?" I was
yeah,
like,
he literally like Noah's there. He has this phone in his hand. Velasco turns around. Noah's hand is up, and he literally puts a glass of champagne in it. And I'm like, "There you it's like that's hilarious. That's
"Yeah,
hilarious." But also,
please."
his mom is right there. Do you want to die?
It's a great scene. Like you gotta
It
appreciate it.
was so funny and cute.
It is.
And then we have Finn looking at Sunny, and he says, "Does this mean you're getting more than one drawer?" Um, and
We end up writing a fic where I made a joke about that later too.
I love that
Anyway,
you did.
we wrote a post this episode fic,
Yeah, because
and like
I came up with an idea, and I absolutely needed to write it with Terryn.
yeah,
We'll
you
talk
guys can
about
go
it
read that
after.
one. That one is out though. We'll talk about it later though, but it's out if you want to read it.
It's out. It's called Chasing Joy.
Yeah,
Go
go
read it.
read it. I wrote
Um,
I came up with the
okay,
title.
so yeah, Finn is like, "Does this mean you're getting more than one drawer?" And Sunny says, "We're negotiating."
Mm,
Um, and then we find out that Serafina,
mm,
because everyone's like, "How the heck is Sunny's mom not at this wedding?" Well, because
yes.
Serafina is planning the big wedding, in Staten Island,
Ooh, it's
but
gonna be big, yo.
we wanted to literally Amanda says, but we wanted to spare you all seeing the ice sculptures.
I say,
Like, oh my
we're like,
god.
wait, the ice
Freaking
sculptures.
Italian mom. But also I'm like,
Wait.
I want to see the big wedding with the ice sculptures.
They better have some. They better be like in the episode like Sunny like showing pictures on his phone or something, so like we can kind of see
It's
what happened at
absolutely.
this wedding because we can't just act like it didn't exist. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like the kids
sorry.
are there, but like we don't see them. Like
They don't
we
get
didn't
like
even like
they didn't have lines. None of the kids had
fully
lines in their scene either, except Noah. But we'll talk about that in a second.
we didn't
Yeah,
even like fully see that the kids were there until hold on one second.
you
I'm
gotta be
pulling it
like
up.
looking for them if you want. Like you have to be like looking at this shot and be like, oh, the kids are there.
Um yeah, like we didn't even like fully know that the kids were there until we got like behind the scenes photos literally like months after.
No, I did
'Cause
notice they were there.
we got
They
like
were
yeah, it but
the
like they're in
girls
the
are like
corner
at the
and we got
yeah.
Kelly
They're
posting pictures of her with B and
mm,
is it Charlotte or Vivian?
mm,
I'm pretty sure it's Charlotte, but I could be
mm,
wrong. Anyway,
yeah.
the girls in there literally matching cute. They both
Oh
have
yeah,
pink dresses on.
they're very cute.
They
I
look
love it
so
so
much
much.
like Kelly. It's not even
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, they whoever was in charge of doing that job was
Oh
like,
my god, I didn't see this one before.
oh, I don't think I
Oh
saw
my
that one
god,
either.
I didn't see this one
Oh,
before.
I didn't.
It's the girls, and they took a picture with Octavio.
Yeah,
Oh my
I didn't see that one
god, I never
either.
saw that one before.
Okay,
That's so cute.
okay, yeah. We have to keep
And then they
going.
got one with
Yeah,
Ryan.
back. Yeah, I love that one.
Hold on.
Come
We
on,
need to
go
get
pick a
to the
few.
important one.
I know. Yes, we
We
love
need
that
to get
one.
the
We
important one
yeah,
that everybody fricked the flip out about.
they did.
The
Yeah,
one
that
with
was fun.
Peter that shows
Yes,
that yes, indeed, Gracie is their father.
yes.
Like,
No one can deny that. Sorry.
I don't freaking care about biology
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
It's so true.
Family is the
And then
people
there's
you
one. The
choose.
last one was B talking B. It's B. I'm pretty sure Beatrice B
Yeah.
talking to Mariska. Anyway,
Mhm.
okay. So Releasey is married. It
Yeah.
finally happened. It took
Yes. No one knew it was coming
us.
until
We
it was
got it.
spoiled. It got spoiled. Actually,
Yeah,
so
I
we
know.
were
We
gonna
all knew
know it
what
was
was
gonna
happening
because
because
somebody
all the
spoiled it.
pictures, but honestly, we're all still super excited.
Yes,
Anyway,
it was great. We'll talk about
um,
execution of the whole episode as a whole at the end because there's some like there's some
um,
no, that's the wrong word
yeah,
to use. There's some like
literally,
things I'm like
there's yeah, there's one more thing that
proper
happened.
execution of the episode kind of
So there's one more thing that happened before like the
This is
dun
our
dun
phone.
in the cold open. Um, so Noah is on his phone for a reason. Well, sort of. He literally like Olivia's talking to the adults, and all of a sudden we hear Noah yelling, "Mom, mom!" She turns around and she's like, "What?" And she's like, Noah's like, "I figured out my Christmas surprise."
Oh
Because
yeah.
there was a scene earlier where they
Yeah,
like
we
Olivia
accidentally
and Noah.
skipped that scene. We got a little too excited.
I missed it. We're walking down the street, and she's like, "Why is your phone blah blah
Yeah, don't be
face
walking with your
staring at
phone
the
in
phone
your
all the
hand.
time?"
That's what she was.
And she's like, and he's like, "I'm trying to figure out my Christmas surprise." Well, he figured it out. And then
Yeah.
Olivia's like, "Oh, okay." And then dun 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 dun, you know, dun dun. I can't freaking do the theme song, but the theme song.
Yeah. The
Also, the fact that I
um,
literally like nearly cried when I saw
I
Rollins in
did.
the
I did. I was
beginning.
like,
I
this
was
is
like,
I said this
"We're
is the
not
last
gonna
one.
see her
Not
again. The
again.
next time we get it, she's not gonna get it." I was like,
Mm-mm. Sad
mm,
day.
okay.
Moving on. Continue
Okay.
on.
Back to it. So we find out that Noah's Christmas surprise is,
Mm.
well,
We didn't see this one coming.
he has a half brother.
Yeah. I mean, we should have expected it, but we didn't see it coming now.
No, I
Right.
didn't see it coming at all. I'm like, why did they just literally just pull this out of thin air? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it makes sense. Johnny D
We'll talk
raped a
about
whole
that when
bunch of
I
women.
yeah. I do think they should have saved this storyline for another
Agreed.
episode. It clunked too much
Agreed.
together. When you the proper
Agreed.
execution of this episode, they
Agreed.
should have saved this.
But there's like part of
Anyway,
it that I'm glad they kept because they wouldn't have had like Olivia's little case if she wasn't going to visit the family.
yeah, which puts together a bunch of. Anyway, we'll have to get to that because that's a lot interesting to
Anyway,
talk
we'll
about.
get to it. Anyway, so we find
Oh
out
yeah,
that Noah has an older half brother.
yeah,
Um, and Olivia's like, "How did you find this out?"
yeah,
Then we get a conversation of Finn and Olivia talking, and Finn is like, "How did you even find this out?" And she's like, this is the most hilarious thing to me." She looks
mm-hmm.
at Finn dead in the eye, and she's like, "He used the um gift card to the ancestry website that you gave him for his birthday." I was like, "That's hysterical." But also,
yeah.
Finn, why is that what
Maybe,
you're giving to Noah?
maybe also
I
maybe
mean,
it was
yeah,
like a.
cool, but
It could have been like a Visa gift card or something, and then Noah used it to do that, which makes more sense to me.
yeah.
So
But also,
it
I was
probably
like,
was. It probably was
"Really?
more like
That's
it.
hilarious."
It probably was more of like a Visa gift card because you just use it like a credit card. So
Yeah.
it could have been more like
And
that, but
well,
it doesn't really make it
Olivia
clear.
being Olivia
Yeah.
has Finn to do a background check on this
On these.
family.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, there she doesn't really have the best track record with people related to Noah on his side.
Yeah. Nope.
Um,
Literally.
and then we
No
transition
bueno.
to court, and as Gracie predicted in the morning, Elias Olsen's lawyer is trying to get things pushed back again because they have
Yeah.
a new witness. Things are happening with Elias, and Carice is like, "The women in this trial just want to get on with their lives. Stop
Yeah.
trying to postpone
They
this."
keep pushing it.
They keep pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judge looks at him and is like, "And Mr. Gracie, didn't you just get married?"
It's like,
Which I freaking love that they're already acknowledging it.
yeah,
They need
everybody
to keep
knows.
doing
They're
that.
like, yep.
Everybody freaking knows they got married.
Everybody
Love
knows.
it. They need to keep acknowledging it. And Johnny's like, "Yes, I
I
did."
mean,
And even the defense lawyer is like, "Congratulations."
congratulations.
But no,
We got
so
work to do, we're working here.
yeah. So for some whatever freaking reason, I think it's so they can get this trial. No, no, that wouldn't make sense. I was about to say so they can get this trial done before the holidays, but if they wanted to get it done before the holidays, they wouldn't push it back. Anyway, so
Yeah, they're low.
unfortunately, for whatever freaking reason, the judge decides to push the trial back. Actually,
Mhm.
no, no, no.
There's a reason. There's only so much time you can.
I think it's they move it up.
Yeah, I think they
They
moved it
move
forward, not
something
back.
up.
They move
because they have
something
new
around.
evidence. They're
Yeah,
ready.
they were
They
wanted to
didn't
go
really get
ahead
it
and
done
then
with. It
do
was
a
either
trial
they
to
move it
indict.
back um
Yeah,
after the holidays, or they do it before the holidays. And
yeah.
for whatever reason, they decide to do it before the holidays. And Crazy has to go tell Amanda that it got moved up. And she's like, well, so much for our honeymoon. And it was like, no. And then Sonny makes this fun joke that says, welcome to being married to an ADA.
Mm-hmm. Or
Um,
like,
eh, I mean,
yeah.
obviously that would be fun for things. Then we get a conversation of Olivia and Noah at a coffee
Uh-huh.
shop. We
And
find
then
out
this is when
that
they were
Noah
getting
does
pizza.
know
I think this is when they
their
were getting
pizza.
pizza. They were getting
Yeah.
pizza. They were getting pizza.
I think Olivia got a coffee, got pizza anyway. We find out that Noah knows that his father is a criminal.
Yeah.
Uh,
Johnny D.
that's it. We don't know any of the other things. He just
What else
knows
does he
his
know? But
father, his
hopefully he doesn't
biological
know
father is a
anything
criminal.
that'll scar him for life.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully he doesn't know anything that'll scar him for life.
And like Olivia's like, are you what? Like Noah's like, why won't you let them meet them? And Olivia's like, we barely know those people. And Noah's like, do you think they're criminals too? And Olivia's like, no. And then he's like, then why did you have Finn look into them? Also, for the longest time, I think it's a general wide consensus that everybody thought Noah called Finn Uncle Finn. No, we find out that Finn, he just calls Finn Finn. Which stinks. Now we have to go change that too.
You know what? We're not changing it. I don't care. We're not
okay,
changing
cool.
it. Who cares?
I'm not changing it. Sorry. Anyway.
Because literally, we can't. The reason why I'm telling us we can't change it is because literally everyone they are an uncle to them, except like a couple people that are not because they're young and they don't want to be called that. But everyone else is, so we're not changing.
Yeah, we have like a few people that literally just use it by their first name.
Yeah,
anyway,
but
so
most of them are.
Olivia is like, no, I don't think so. And Finn's like, okay. I mean, Olivia, goodness, Noah's like, then why did you look?
We're at less than a minute and the bomb's about to go off. So
oh, your sixth blanket. Anyway.
It's very soft.
And
we have less than a minute, so we gotta wrap the thought real quick before it goes boom.
And Noah's like, I want to meet Connor, who is his half brother. He's the only real family I have. I was like, and you could see Olivia's face, like
her heart broken.
Her heart broke. It hurt. And I literally wrote, geez, what do you call Olivia and all the adults you grew up around?
Literally everyone you know.
Your family.
Raised you. They raised.
Also, literally, how would you not call your mother your real family? Like, ouch. Like, that hurt.
Yeah.
Well, Olivia caves. They go to meet the family.
She did cave.
And they live in a really, really nice house.
Something you said was like perfect. Continue.
All right, so yeah, Olivia caves and decides that Noah can go meet his family because she said all he really wants for Christmas.
Something else, but sorry.
Okay. So they get to the house and it's really, really big and fancy, like in the, I don't know,
like all these like they show up like they have like a shot of like the shot is like the camera, like you can see out the window, like the shot is like the camera is pointing towards now. So like outside the window, you can see like the Christmas light through like on the houses. Like there's a lot. This neighborhood is
super nice.
I think he asks like he says like, why don't we live out here? And she's like, and then she's like,
because my job's not out here.
Yeah.
And Noah's like, so aren't criminals out here? Then Olivia's like, no, but also in her head she's like, because when she looks at the house, you can see her facial expression, and she's like, oh my god, I cannot afford to live out here.
We cannot afford to
live. I cannot afford any of this.
No.
Literally so much so that like when she has to go somewhere else, she goes to a cheap ass motel. Like, I can't afford to live here.
Yeah, literally.
It's all
like we're trying to survive for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, they go in. They meet the family. They talk with the family.
It's
Noah and
kind
his
of
brother meet.
what's up.
They
Yeah,
hug. It's okay, but also the two of us were both like, "This
this
is
feels
too good to be
weird.
true."
It feels kind of
Especially because, like, I don't know, especially like
sus.
the way the dad was talking to Olivia. Like,
Yeah,
nope,
it's
nope.
a little weird.
Yeah.
It seems like because like they eat the dinner and then like he's like Connor's like, can no come in the room and they're like, sure, keep the door open or something like that. Anyway, some
Yeah. Also,
strange
yeah.
like,
Why do you tell the kids to
why do you
keep the
need to
door open?
specify? Why didn't you need to specify that? I mean, most kids do, but like, why do they need to specify that? It's kind of weird. Anyway, and then like
Um.
how like the mom is cutting. I think they have some pie or something. I don't know what kind of pie it was, but it was pie. And then they were first they're all kind of like in the kitchen, and then like he's like, why don't you come have a seat? And then whoever the wife, I forgot her name was, will cut us some pie or something like that. And then it's just like this is weird. This doesn't
Yeah.
feel
It was
right.
like too good to be true.
They
Um.
eat some pie and the kids come and they eat some pie and it's just
They
like
talk. They talk about like Noah's. I mean, Noah and Connor's past. They found out like Connor's
yeah
was like a close adoption. And they don't really know
yeah
much about.
yeah they don't know much they don't know much basically, but then they kind of know, but they don't specifically know as much as they it's kind of weird. It's hard to explain because it's like they know enough about like enough, but like they have questions that need to be answered,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird. But they have some time to kind of talk about this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. There's something else they'll talk about that's weird in a second. But
And
so a lot
then
of
they
these
get.
like I think this one they come back and Noah asks I mean they ask about Noah asks about spending the night. I think they have the pie with the kids and then
Yeah. And then Noah's like, "Oh, Connor wants. Can I say the name with Connor?" And I'm like,
I'm like, no.
"This is going too fast."
But like,
Olivia's
no.
obviously gonna say no.
We thought she was gonna say no, but
We
we
really
thought
thought
she
she
would.
was going to say no. And the next scene we get is literally like her leaving. And I'm like,
Yeah. With her little to go
you're
containers and
telling
all
me
like I said, what?
a woman who had her
Literally
son kidnapped
by his grandma.
because of his grandmother
Yeah. I don't trust
is
nobody.
letting her son stay with
You
people
would
she just met? Like,
literally you would
no,
think
no way.
because she like almost immediately distrusted Sheila and then like or like these people you really don't know, you kind of seem
Yeah.
to trust them with your child. This seems all weird. I don't this Olivia, what? I'm like,
How? How, Liv?
mm,
Anyway,
I
so
got
we get the
questions.
scene.
It all kind of just
Olivia.
weird. I'm just like, it's these people.
Yeah.
Anyway, you would think after her
Yeah.
the way like her being a police officer for a long
Yeah.
time, and what happened with Sheila, the answer would be no, unless she
Yeah.
was staying also.
Yeah.
It would have been
But
different if she'd have been like, if I could say if she both of them stayed, it would have been well, it's weird. But it's weird because it's just anyway.
but no, she just leaves him
Because you would
there.
think these rich people have a guest room. These rich people
Yeah,
probably have a guest room.
probably.
So it's weird how they weren't like, oh, you could spend the night too. That's kind of weird to me. Now that I like think about these things, I was delusional the first time I watched this. But it does they you would think these rich people have guest room, which means they intend they some it's all weird, okay? It's all
Yeah. Um.
suspicious.
Then we
Real suspicious. Anyway, continue.
transition to Olivia checking into this
The
cheap ass
hotel.
motel,
Yeah, it's crusty.
and then
It's
like
real
the guy who
crusty.
owns it literally like tries to like bring her to that room, asks if she wants to hang out, tries to get
She
her to
was
give
like,
him a fist bump, and
she was
she's
like,
like, no, and like closes the door. Nope,
it's a
can't.
weird. It's I
And
told you this whole
then
thing was weird from the
we
start.
get a rare
It's very
occurrence of
something soon.
undressed Olivia.
Yeah. The
We
last time it
usually
was
don't.
weird time.
Nobody expected it.
We
The
didn't. I
last
was
time
like,
we got
wait
it
a
was
burden.
the 500. Literally, like
Yeah.
Olivia. So
She's
Olivia had just taken a shower. She stepped out of
with her towel.
the room with a towel around her, and her hair wet. And I'm like,
Mm.
wow. That's something
It's a
we haven't seen
interesting.
in a long time, and I don't think I ever thought we would see it from
Yeah,
Marichka again. But also, kudos to her for doing it. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
not something you see like a lot on TV, but like for her letting her be vulnerable like that
yeah.
with
Hmm.
her, like, I mean, like, it's not a thing that like it should be like
Awkward to be in, not close.
praised or awkward about, because like
Yeah,
it
don't
just
make it weird.
it's
People did make it weird. People did make it weird. Don't make it weird.
yeah, people
Don't
made
make
it
nope,
weird, which is why it was
nope.
like, stop it, stop it, stop it, fuck,
Stop.
stop
This is your warning. Open your bed.
it. Don't make it weird.
Okay,
Mariska
it
didn't
was
have to do this,
yeah, don't make it weird.
especially to
Stop.
make
If
it
you are,
weird knowing
stop.
what happened after.
It makes it
No.
even worse that it's weird. Don't make it weird.
Yeah. So
Don't make it
anyway,
weird.
we get the
Period.
rare appearance of undressed Olivia. Olivia got out of the shower, towel around her, getting ready as normal, and then she
Yeah.
sees this blinking red light in her.
In the mirror.
Actually, wait, no, wait,
It's in the mirror.
no, not yet, because there's no, never mind.
Oh, it's over. You're
I
right.
thought
I'm
the
right.
phone call was
And that was
beforehand.
after.
Never, it was
It's
after.
after because she tells her
Um,
about it. She
yeah.
tells her about it.
So literally, Olivia's getting ready, and then she sees this blinking light in her mirror, and she's like,
What is
"What the
yeah.
hell?" She
Yeah.
picks
She
up a
so she gets
flashlight,
yeah.
walks toward the mirror,
Yep.
and is like using the flashlight to see what's going on. And
Yeah.
she finds a
A
camera.
camera. We're like
A
camera
fucking
in this
camera in her mirror.
yeah, we're like,
She gets dressed and rushes out of that hotel room as
yeah.
fast as she possibly can,
Mm-hmm.
in anger and disgust, and sits in her car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you
And then we're
kidding
like,
me?
wait, this is
Just
awkward. This is
happened. What just
what just
happened?
yeah, it's just like, huh? Yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy. It was a wild
because they
time.
said, yeah. So yeah, there's that. So she gets in
Yeah.
her car and she gets a phone call from
Oh
Amanda.
man.
And I'm
Yep.
like, oh my God, we get Olivia girl talk phone call.
Yeah.
And now, like, they're literally talking to each other. And at one point, Olivia's like, shouldn't you be enjoying married life?
Yeah.
And Amanda's like, I would, but Creasy's still at work because of the case. So I'm here. I'm calling you.
Besties. That's what besties
I
do.
think I missed the, I think
I
I
think she
missed
mentions the
the scene. I missed the scene. I don't remember where it was, but I missed the scene. Um, oh, I'm pretty sure it was after. Hold on. Let me see
Say
if
what you're saying, and I'll continue your
I
thought.
think it's after the thing where she says, um, and when Creasy's like, so this is what it, welcome to being married to ADA.
Oh, we talked about that scene already.
And Sunny is looking at Amanda and he is asking her if she's thought more about the job.
Oh yeah. That's the
And
part.
asking her if she's told Liv yet.
Oh,
And she's no,
and
but I will. And you
yeah.
can like see like the tears forming in her eyes and like the wistful smile on her face, which already hurts until
Yeah.
all the interviews came out and we find out that that is the last scene that Kelly filmed.
Mm.
The last scene she filmed was her and Peter in Creasy's office talking about, are you gonna, how have you told Liv that you're taking the job yet? And she's like, I'm not. I haven't. But I will.
Oh, it's
My heart hurts again.
yeah.
Anyway, so that's the scene that I missed. Now back to the phone call.
Yeah.
Where Olivia, like, Amanda's like trying to figure out how to tell
Yeah. But then yeah, you
can't
could this
tell
is what
her,
she was going to
but
tell
she
her,
can't.
but then like the whole situation kind of occurred with the camera, so
Yeah,
they kind
and
of
then she's like, Olivia's like, you're not gonna believe what I found in my hotel room, type thing, and she's like,
yeah.
oh my God. And then Liv's like, oh, what did you want to tell me? And Amanda's like, this is a conversation better to have in person.
Yeah.
So she rushes up to go be with Liv.
Oh yeah.
Then we transition to the case, like the
Mm-hmm.
actual bigger case of the
Yeah.
episode.
Can't do that one because that's what this show is.
And we get a scene of Velasco and Muncie. And Muncie is like in a really nice like blazer set. And Velasco's looking nice for court too. And Velasco walks over to Muncie and he's like, you clean. No, actually, hold on. I have to look. Who says you clean up nice?
I don't remember. It might be him to her.
I think yeah, I think so. So Velasco says to Muncie, "You clean up nice," and she's like, "You sound so shocked."
Oh yeah.
Meaning,
Okay, she was gonna go to the
yeah, I'm
stand.
colorblind, but I can still get dressed and clean up nice. So,
Got him.
We get the scene of like Carisi walking over to them, like, Grace, are you ready? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he gets like this look on his face, and this is so funny. She literally points at him, and she's like, no pissed off face. And Carisi's like, what? And Velasco says she's joking.
They're funny.
She's joking, which is funny.
Funny.
And as Carisi starts to walk away, literally she says, oh yeah, I brought my emotional support animal. And she puts a hand on Velasco's shoulder.
They're so funny. Like, their banter is hilarious. I'm like,
my dad like made a comment of it, and she's like, she's hysterical. She is.
they're so
I think
funny.
Molly is hilarious.
We do love Molly.
We do. Okay, then we get back to the hotel. Amanda has arrived, and her and Olivia go in that room, and she's
back
like,
in the room again.
And Amanda's looking, and she's like, oh my god, there is a camera.
And
they're like, what do we do? And Amanda's like, all right, if they're watching you, I guess I'm gonna put on a show. She takes out a tube of lipstick.
Yeah.
And start like,
yeah, she puts it on
slowly,
very
changing her
seductively.
Slowly in like this like dark red color, right in front of the camera, up very close to the mirror.
Yes.
And then they literally like storm into the main lobby and see the guy from earlier, the one who tried to get
watching them like
watching it. And they go into badass tag team duo, like
they do
you enjoying the show.
real quick.
And he's like, and they're like, okay, what the frick do we? And he's like, okay, what do we do? They literally like drill into this guy. They call the cops. They find out
they like handcuffed him to a chair, and they were
thing that the owner of the hotel has a partner, and they're purposely putting cameras in the hotel room for their own thing.
They're making porn, I believe, or somebody's making porn, something like that. It's something naughty. That's not good. It's going on.
Not good. Sorry, my daughter was telling me something, and I was like, recording. What? Working here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going
to something.
Anyway,
they were doing it bad.
Yep. So we find out their partner. Then we find out information behind him, his name, and that he goes to a certain bar that's nearby. And we get Olivia looking at Amanda, and she's like, we know what bar he goes to. What do you say we make a night of it?
It was such a great. It's so good.
They this literally the rest of this entire scene is the best freaking Olivia thing they could have given us in this episode. Well,
it did.
We got angsty releasey, badass releasey, and emotional releasey. Olivia. All in one episode.
I was like, we don't.
Not a releasey. We didn't really get a whole ton of releasey in this episode.
It really wasn't a lot of releasey. But anyway,
I'll get to that.
The whole execution of the episode
kind of. So they literally are at the bar, and Olivia walks over with like 2 beers, and she's like, "Oh, I found out the guy's favorite beer. I got these for us. So I put these on his." No, she said. We find out that the guy has like a running tab
A
at the bar.
long running tab.
She walks down over with these 2 giant mugs of beer, and she's like, "So
The
I put
big
these on
one.
them." And Amanda's laugh was hilarious. She like
She's like,
heartily
please.
chuckled.
It's so
Oh,
great.
and also she also bought a box of Cabernet and put it on the tab, and was
Yeah.
like, "You go, Liv."
Yeah, they spent a lot
So
of discipline.
while they're waiting for Ray, the guy's name is Ray, to show up.
Yeah.
They're drinking the beer, talking about Noah's situation in the family.
Yeah.
And Amanda
Yeah.
at one point says, "He's a strong kid, Liv. He's got you in his corner. Like, he'll be okay." And Olivia's like, "Will I be?" Amanda's like,
foreshadowing.
I don't know if that was an actual line, but I think that was kind of what she said next.
If that was the line, they kind of foreshadowed what was going to happen on next.
Um,
Anyway, sorry.
I think
We'll get to that.
he's a strong kid, Liv. He's got you in his corner. Could possibly be the foreshadowing, but anyway, Amanda supporting Liv and Noah.
Yes.
Then we see.
This is when
Ray
he finally shows up
in the bar, and this is the most. I don't know who came up with this, but thank you.
This had a great time.
Yeah, like literally, like Kelly was doing interviews about it, and she's like, "Me and Mariska were just having a blast." She described it like girls talk in their like own feisty way, and
it's a great scene.
That description. They literally see Ray walking in the bar, and Olivia purposefully like starts to like fix her top.
Yeah.
So her chest is showing a bit more, and she says, "Ever had a threesome?"
And they were like, really, what? It's a very funny, like, huh?
And they both
it catches you off guard if you're not ready for it. If you just be like,
Olivia, you just said what?
I said what? Please, it's a great scene. Like, I don't understand how much you appreciate the scene.
To the Ray.
Yeah.
And to go from, detective to flirty woman.
Yeah. He fell for it.
And Olivia's like, "I was talking to my girlfriend, and we're saying we think we could." Oh, actually, no, they start with like, "How are you?" And the guy, cheesy line, "Oh, it just got better now that you two are here."
Yeah, they kind of picked up on his flirting, and they were picked up.
And Olivia, I love how Olivia's like tone changes. Like usually her tone is like and deeper. When she's like flirty undercover, it gets a little higher, a little lighter, which I love. It she's like, "My girlfriend and my friend and I were like debating whether or not we could beat you at pool." And he's like,
"Yeah, that's the first part of it."
And he's like, "Yeah, we bet if we beat you, you like buy us more drinks or something." I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a good scene. Like, they pulled it off so well.
If we lose, you get to take us back to our room.
Yep.
And you guys like, what? And Olivia's like, "Yeah, a little 2-on-1 pool." And Amanda literally reinforces it, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And Amanda literally reinforces it with like, "I don't think you heard what my girlfriend said. 2-on-1." And she literally like does it slowly like that too, with her head tilted. 2-on-1.
It's such a great like.
I really wish they could have showed us like them like
playing pool a little bit,
purposefully losing.
I wanted to see that soon. That would have been hilarious.
Hysterical. Like I can imagine like
they made it a little flirty. They made their terrible pool playing a little flirty,
like their head tilting and them like hitting the pool
really badly. Yeah, it was great.
Ball and like the ball like going in the air and like Olivia or Amanda being like, "Oops."
Yeah, it was great. Like, they could have played with this scene. If they had more time, they could have played with that so much.
Yeah.
But
so
it just cuts to
they cut to the guy is drunk. Because they
can't even walk.
Made like a point of like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have drinks and play pool." The guy's drunk. Olivia and Amanda are literally like they
caring.
still have the
That-
flirty act going on while they're like
yeah,
giggling and laughing and taking the guy back to their room.
yeah,
They lay him on the bed.
yeah. Oh yeah, I love this scene too. I love this scene. They were just so good during
Oh,
this
wait,
scene. Like
no,
it's
we
so
didn't wait. No, there's more before that. I'm skipping ahead.
okay.
So the scene ends with them being like 2-on-1. So
Yeah.
we get them going to play
Okay, we
pool.
go to trial. We go back to trial, and then we go
We
back.
go back to the trial, and I rewatched the scene today because I knew it was good, but I needed a refresher.
Yeah.
So we got Priya, the girl that Elias Olsen, the latest girl that Elias Olsen kidnapped and kept captive in his basement, to be the next, basically, sex slave for his father.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a messed up time.
um, she testifies, and like she basically is like, yeah, Elias Olsen told me that good girls get good things, bad girls get bad things. The mom starts to testify, and she like starts saying about something about like the detective saying something, and Carisi has to cut her off like super fast.
Don't say.
Um, and so then Muncie testifies, and it starts off okay, like
Yeah.
her answering Carisi's questions, totally fine, professional, everything. Then the cross examining happens, and the lawyer starts asking her about the radio and her apparently past bouts of violence. It's not new, which kind of scares me because, like, there's a few thoughts running in my head when we get this tirade of her. And one of them was, so if we get any more organized crime crossovers, how much you want to bet that like Stabler and Muncie are gonna have a conversation about like wanting to punch a perp? Because honestly, that's the kind of attitude I was getting from her. Minus one thing, which I will get to her, which I will get to later.
I know what you're saying now. Yep. Continuing.
Yeah, when I say it, let me know if that's what you were thinking. Anyway, so Muncie like mistakenly says that IAB never investigated her for this, and the guy's like, oh, that's reassuring. And then brings out bouts of like things she had in the past. That apparently there was a thing that happened at a Black Lives Matter protest, which got me concerned. The following the perp into the cellar, the one who went after the transgender people was mentioned, and that apparently he broke his ribs.
Yeah, the episode that was like 2 episodes ago.
He was already hurt when I got there. And then brings up Elias, and like
a better person. So that was just the episode before.
Yeah, like bringing up like Elias and like why did you throw her use radio at him? And Muncie like starts going this tirade. She's like, "This isn't about me. This is about the guy who kidnapped and raped women and killed their babies." And while she's going into this tirade, which honestly, rightfully good tirade, because the guy did all this and is despicable. With that can't. This is something I noticed today when I was watching it. I didn't see it before. And I wrote, when Muncie started to go on a tirade, the camera cut to Velasco, shaking his head no, trying to tell her to stop.
Yeah, because it was
like it's like a little thing. He's like, no, don't do this. Unfortunately, it keeps going. And at one point, the judge is like, do you need a break, detective? And she says, yes. I'd like to use it to have 10 minutes alone with that animal. And she points directly at Elias.
They were like, oh no. It was
and then we're like, oh crap, this is downhill fast. Unfortunately, she did not listen to Olivia's advice.
Yeah. We'll find out what Olivia
The
has to say about
transition,
that
the
eventually, but
camera, yeah, the camera moves to Carisi,
mm-hmm.
who is livid.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's much so that he's like a fully livid at Muncie. Definitely partly because he's like,
We had this I wanted to
he's like,
prep
I
you, but
told
you
you
didn't.
the prep was important and you
Yeah,
just
and she was
decided to
all
keep
like,
using it as a joke. So
yeah.
partly at her. But for the most part, I think it's that this guy is about to get away with the
Mm-hmm.
stuff
Yep.
that he did because
She
my
lost.
witness is getting too heated.
Yep.
Chrissy tries to be like, do you need a moment? Like Chrissy's like, I need a moment, my witness, and the defense attorney is like, I need a moment. I'm not done with my cross. And
Mm-hmm.
after Monty goes on her tirade, she stops. She looks like she sits straight forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm not sure if like the camera angle did this or if it's just the way that she was like the direction she was looking. After her tirade, she looks at Carisi and is realizing
I messed up real bad.
yeah, exactly. I messed up so bad. And she like apologized and I think she like wiped a tear from her eye. She's like, or like at least or started tearing up because her voice
Mm-hmm.
goes soft. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing. And that's the thing that I noticed is
Yes,
different.
that's what I was gonna say. She was remorseful.
She's apologizing and she's remorseful. Does
Mm-hmm.
she regret like being violent? We
I
don't
don't
know.
really know.
But she regrets going into this angry tirade that might have just caused a case because she
Yeah.
does care. It's why she gets so angry. And
Mm-hmm.
she now realizing that she might have just messed everything up is apologizing profusely.
Yep. I was
Um
gonna say that's what I thought. The same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then we transition to after court and Muncie is drinking at a bar. And Finn and Joe show up.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Finn and Joe show up to comfort her, and Muncie's like, "How mad is Crazy? How mad is Crazy at me?" And Velasco says, on a scale from 1 to 10, and Finn, being Finn, says Vladimir Putin died, meaning, oh god, he's angry. And they get into like this whole conversation is like, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do now. So we're just gonna be here to comfort you and drink with you while we figure out what to do next. And I kind of liked it how like she's got they like her squad's got her back now because no one in the
Mm-hmm.
game unit really ever had her back. She was just there. Now she
Yeah.
has
People who care about
Sarge,
her.
her sergeant, and her partners that to comfort her even after she screwed up royally.
Mm-hmm.
um, then we finally get back to the
Oh yes. Oh no. Hold on. I think your internet. Oh, say what you're saying again. I think it froze for a second.
Amanda and Olivia are giggling and laughing, and then they bring
Yeah.
Ray back to their hotel room and throw him on the bed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because it was
Okay.
yeah. They like
Well,
they kind of like support him, and that's what makes it like it's a they're
yeah,
very still flirty. They kind of like bring him in. It's
yeah,
great.
he's drunk.
Yeah.
They're acting like they are, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, basically like, oh well, a bet's a bet. Now we're gonna do this for you. They literally make a show of it.
They
Like
do.
they're like, you know, this guy smiling, flirting. Amanda unbuttons her top, and when she
Yeah.
unbuttons her top, she looks down at her like looks down, and she's like, "Oh, Like, look what I just did. I'm like,
Yeah.
ma'am,
What's up?
ma'am,
It's very
like, ma'am,
flirty.
like it's literally like, oh, look at
It's
that.
very flirty. Like y'all, it's the best.
It's
Like the
so flirty.
creativity.
Olivia,
Flirt
yeah,
game.
it's flirty, it's creative, it's only how they could do it. Olivia starts to undo the guy's
But
belt. And
yeah,
she's like,
no,
let's
that's
get
how.
to it, let's do this.
And I was like,
And the guy
oh.
like,
He was like,
oh,
wait. He
and
was
then
like, wait,
Amanda's
wait,
like,
wait.
what? Yeah, he's like, wait. And not Amanda just like, oh, are you gun shy? And then Olivia
Oh yeah. Or are you
switches back to
get
her
back to
regular
serious
personality in
voice?
instant and says seriously, or are you camera shy?
You know,
And the
he was
guy
like,
looks
oh,
up at both of them, and their flirty
it's
exteriorness
over for
is
now.
gone in an instant, and they're both like looking at him with like dead angry faces. And then the next thing we get is he got arrested.
Yeah. Whew.
Um, it worked. The
It's such a
youth
great
undercover
scene,
thing,
y'all.
like, it was so good.
So good.
So we find out that Ray and the guy who was owning the hotel partnered together and sold all their, and they call it, the footage they got from their camera, they call it like amateur stuff. And they sell
Yeah.
it to Sugar Fat, the
Yeah.
porn website that has been mentioned in episodes previously.
Yep.
It's like,
Yikes.
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then the officer who was talking to Olivia and Amanda says, Captain, just so you know, you should know that some of your footage has come up in the investigation. That we can erase it for you before it goes to the DA. And Olivia, being Olivia,
Being who she
says,
is.
if it will help convict, tell them that they should use it. And Amanda's looking at her like slightly shocked. And the officer's like, all right. And Amanda, and I was like, I literally wrote, wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Wow.
Well,
Like,
hopefully they'll bring this
Olivia's
back around.
very,
Hopefully they bring this
they
one back around.
better,
They
like,
better bring this one back
they're
around. Like,
putting out footage of like Olivia like undressed. Olivia's very insecure about, I don't know if this is a headcanon or just in
I
general,
don't know,
but Olivia's very insecure about like her body and things at times. So the fact that, you know,
because we
something
don't know
very
how
personal,
much of
like,
it was because we all we know is like she noticed the camera when she got out of the shower. So we don't know how much like if it was
yeah,
how much of it
you're
like
right. We don't know how
like
much
she
her
could have
on
gotten
there.
undressed in the room before she got in the shower. It's not really clear. So we don't really know what's on this camera besides like the point where she
And it's
noticed.
gonna be
Be
interesting
all
because if it becomes an SVU case,
she can't work that one.
like her squad is going to see it.
Yeah.
Danny's going to see it.
It's gonna be
Velasquez
a
is going to
lot.
see it. Monty's going to see it. Carisi is going to have to question her about it, which I think would probably break his heart.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. They better bring this one back around. If they don't, we'll do it ourselves. Please. We'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, you know, now that I'm saying it, like, obviously. Okay, anyway.
Sorry, I just thought about
Amanda's
that.
like, yeah, you're right. Amanda's like, are you sure about that? And Olivia says, you know, we ask rape victims to reveal everything. Why should I be exempt? Which is so powerful. Also kind of remind me of like, it's definitely a Marushka thing, like reminded me of her gutsy interview a bit.
Yeah,
But also
yeah. If y'all haven't go watch it, go watch this on Apple TV.
I still haven't watched the whole thing, but like I saw like the
Yeah, I
important
watched the
stuff.
clips of her, but like it's on Apple TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then we finally like we transition to the woman
Back to happier
partaking in
times.
the box wine that they bought, and Amanda's literally like
She's like
sprawled out on the bread.
she's at like the foot end. Her
And
head is like to the foot end of the
yeah,
bed.
her
Olivia's
head
at
is
the
on the
top.
foot and her feet are on the headrest, and she's got a glass, like a paper cup in her hand, and Olivia is just like chilling on the bed.
Yeah. Yep. It's a great
And they're
game.
both
It
like,
would be. I think the
Um,
first thing she's like, she's like, so, Mrs. Carisi, are you gonna change your name? And she's like, I don't know yet. I don't know if she's confirmed or denied she was gonna
I
do it or not,
love
but
that little like yeah, like Olivia's like, so are you going to? We think that she should. We
we've
think
done
she
it
will.
that she did. We did
We've
it
done it. We've gone with it.
for them.
Um,
We for Release we did she changed, and for Barson we did they hyphenated their last name.
yeah,
But
because we
whatever.
think it
Who
would
knows?
be that.
It was very them to do that. Anyway,
I was gonna.
um,
Oh yeah, they're both like, this box one isn't bad. And Amanda's like, of course it wouldn't be that bad
after like
doesn't taste that bad after 3 cups.
I know. Ooh, the box one.
Then they get into the conversation of
I think
I'm
Amanda's talking
glad
about how like she's
I'm
saying like
glad
she's
it's so incredible. Olivia's like, it can't tell you.
I'm so
It
glad
is
how
so
happy I am
incredibly
for you.
nice to see you happy.
Uh-huh.
And then Amanda's like, when are you going to do the same?
Yeah.
And then she brings up the line of Stabler and the motel again. And we get to the part of the episode where we're both like, eh.
Yeah. But
I tried to keep an open mind about it, but literally as soon as the Stabler motel line got brought up again, it was like,
I have a thought about I think the
uh,
reason why like I think from my understanding, Amanda wants Olivia to be happy. So from what she understands,
she
Stabler
thinks
makes her happy. She
taking a
thinks.
Stabler to a motel will make her happy, but
Well,
we don't know that.
well, for her to figure out her feelings,
Yeah,
it was what she was trying to do originally, but like
the
she doesn't
motel is
necessarily
a joke.
because I don't Olivia
The
doesn't talk
blonde
about
is,
this. Like Olivia's never talked about how she actually feels about Olivia, but she believe in this moment where she is drunk out of her mind, being
and
like,
she's
"This is the answer
basically
that I
like,
have.
he
This is
left
the
me,
answer. This
and
the
I'm
what she says is
still not over it.
what she says is and we have to speed read it. She says like it would have been easier if and then she said, if Kathy never died, the boundary would still be there.
And
And then she
Amanda's
says
like,
like
yeah.
yeah, then she's like Elliot used to be her home, but she didn't have any right or claim to that. And how yeah, Kathy was that boundary, and then like she's not over Elliot leaving. She just hasn't
Yeah,
said
she
it to
literally
him
said it is
or
like
to
he left
anyone.
and I'm still not over it.
Yeah. We need
And
less
then
than a minute,
Amanda
so we'll come
decides
back to
to
talk about
use
this in a sec. But
that moment to bring up her news.
yeah,
I'm like, really, ma'am? That's how you decide to transition to your news?
yeah, and also Olivia says all this in the past tense. Also, before the Zoom goes boom, she says this in the past tense. So this you don't know how she feels currently. This is how she felt. So, well, we're gonna hopefully they give us some answers in each
Yeah.
episode in a bit, but we'll talk about that in a minute after we finish talking about this. Okay, what was that?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we
So,
were talking about this scene. We were talking about this scene.
yeah. So Elliot, not Elliot. Olivia says, so Elliot left me and I'm still not over it. And then Amanda decides that's when she's going to drop the bomb and says, I might be leaving too. And Olivia looks at her. She's got her cup of wine in her hand. She's like, now that's funny.
Yeah, she
And
doesn't joke.
Amanda,
She was like,
this is the look on Amanda's face. And she's like, her face drop, like Olivia's face drops.
yeah.
And
She
at
says,
one point in the conversation, like, Olivia's like, what? And Amanda's like, you taught me how to love myself and how to let people in, like victims and Carisi. And this is hard for me. I absolutely love that line. Her growth to Olivia. Yeah. So good. Like there's a lot more in the conversation, but these are just like the key details.
Yeah.
And Olivia is basically like, well, Amanda, I wasn't expecting this, so I'm going to need a minute. And I'm like, Olivia, stop it. Stop it. No, 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 no. When we were watching this, I was watching the episode. And I think we only had like 15, 20 minutes left.
Yeah, it was towards
that was including commercials.
Yeah, we were like,
I was like scared out of my mind.
It was like 8:44. That for me was like 8:42 or something like that back end of the episode. I was like,
I was scared out of my mind.
Like, it better not just be
because
she just disappeared. I was gonna be mad.
I'm literally like, I was literally like, that was the first time of the night where I started sobbing because I'm like, I was having flashbacks to when the last time Olivia had a fight with somebody, and that was Barba. And I'm like, no, do
Can't
not
fight like
freaking
that.
leave me like how you left me, Olivia and Barba. Please, for the love of God, do not
When you
let
did
her
this,
last
nah.
episode end with a fight.
Yeah, if y'all don't, okay, so if y'all don't know, because we weren't podcasting a year ago, we ended up the first part, we started writing like Truth and Nothing But the Truth, like the next couple of days. And like the next like 2 days, we wrote the second and the third chapter, and we sobbed uncontrollably for like
I was
2
like,
hours.
I was having my flashbacks. I'm
We
like, I
wrote, if you
cannot.
haven't read you guys know, if you hopefully you read the fic by now, but if you that first part, we sobbed. I never actually cry when I write anything, but I sobbed.
I do.
You were,
Yes,
I was
I
like,
was
this is
having a hard time because I was like, please, for the
because
love of
there's
God,
no.
do
What actually I think broke us is we
have
wrote
Olivia end on a fight.
because we were like, there's
What?
there's a letter. The letter is what when we wrote that letter.
Damn
That's when
letter.
we broke. Man, we sobbed. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I
Go
was
read
like,
the fic if
please,
you
for the
haven't.
love of God, do not let us end on a
I can't go through a whole
fight.
another December doing that again. I can't go through a whole another December doing that again.
Oh, so before the Stabler conversation, there was some funny lines of how like when they first met, they're like, did you think we'd get to this? And Olivia's like, no, I thought you were kind of icy when you first came to SVU. And Amanda's like, icy?
Yeah,
Icy.
please,
and I'm like,
funny.
ma'am, if anything, Olivia, you were the icy one.
She was. Olivia's.
Because Amanda's walking in there with, and I literally mean this
her box. She's like Amanda.
Sunny, peachy Georgia accent and everything type attitude.
Olivia's the grumpy one.
Like, So
Amanda's,
yeah,
Olivia's. It's because it's 13
Olivia
scorched
called
earth.
Amanda icy.
If you guys don't know for context,
like,
it's
hello.
Amanda's first episode is 13-1 scorched earth, which is the one where like Olivia doesn't know that like Elliot's not coming back yet. So like she's kind of in that like still upset, really upset, grumpy era.
Yeah.
So like she's kind of mean the whole episode. Olivia's kind of grumpy the whole
like,
episode.
Yeah, you were icy. Amanda's like, icy. Me? I didn't that type of thing.
No,
anyway,
was
so
one of that one.
So they get there, like Olivia gets mad at Amanda. And Amanda starts to leave. And Olivia's like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going to get some ice.
Yeah, and she just does not come.
Oh, frick. Because all Amanda wanted was Olivia's support.
Yeah.
She knew it was going to be hard, but like,
it ended up like this.
Oh.
Yep. It redeemed itself, but we're not there yet.
Then we get to the transition, back to the transition of Muncie and Carisi talking, and Muncie is trying to apologize, like for everything that happened. She's literally like begging for a chance to fix this. She's like, I'll go testify again. Have Velasco go to testify to like say what happened. Anything. And Carisi's like, no, I'm not having you testify again. I'm not having Velasco testify again. It's over. Like, it's the first time I've heard Carisi be like, it's over. At all. Before the trials ended. It's like, it's over. And you can see the heartbreak on like Muncie's face, and she's like, I totally screwed this up for him. And he said, just next time, try to remember that you don't know everything. And then he leaves, and I was like, ooh. Also, it's gonna make me wonder like how their dynamic is gonna go for the rest of the time. Now that we demand is not like, and we're literally just gonna have Carisi and like Muncie chaos, which is gonna be very interesting to see how that goes. And also, if that's the only reason that Carisi is there, for him to fight with Muncie, I'm going to riot.
Yeah, they better
don't fucking do that to him.
It better be some good stuff, man. Like,
You better give him some good stuff now that you're taking his wife away.
You
His
literally took
wife
his
and his
wife away.
kids.
Literally.
You literally
Like,
took his wife and kids away.
literally,
Fuck
like,
you,
come
dude.
on. Literally,
You took his TV wife away.
like, as my professor, my other professor, not the one I was talking about, you vote with your dollar. So don't spend money on the show if you were disappointed. And then when there's no money, they will change their minds. And I was like,
I mean, like, we've already declared that we obviously need to
we're
watch
gonna,
the next episode, and that's
we
about it.
have to. I mean, we'll
The
probably keep
only
going
time
after that.
I will watch another episode of SVU is if it's Carisi centric. He's why I'm staying.
Like, we'll be watching. We make a show about. We literally make a show about this, so we'll find out. Next one, the next couple of ones we have to watch because they kind of go together, but we'll find out after that.
Yeah, after that, it's like you're gonna see if we actually keep watching.
We'll
Sorry.
see.
Anyway,
oh, back to the next morning. So Olivia's going to pick up Noah.
Olivia like goes in to the checkout desk, and they have a new girl there. You know, like an actual reasonable human being working at that place. She's like, "Did Amanda Rollins ever come back?" And the woman's like, "No, she checked out last night." And Olivia's like, "Shit."
Yeah,
I
it's not.
It's not. No.
It's not good.
She has to go back to pick up Noah.
Yeah.
Trying to throw a football around. I thought it was hilarious. Ryan was like, "Watch my football skills," and I'm like,
"You told us before." He was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
we didn't understand what he meant.
Watch my football skills, and I'm watching him throw the football, and I'm like,
he's not
okay.
But it was.
But I also think more of his expertise.
Yeah, the scene's it's a funny scene because he's like doing something he doesn't do. It's great.
And he's like, yeah, he throws it. And he's like, "Mom, did you see it?" And she's like, "I did." It's just throwing another football. It's funny.
It is hilarious.
Then the adults all have a conversation, and it's like, if you ever want more information about your kid's biological father, let me know. The dad makes a weird comment that she picked up on. And the mom's like, "Oh, because the parents brought up like asking about the background, and the mom's like, "You're a detective, right?" And the dad's like, "Honey, she's a captain."
They were like,
I don't think she ever told you that. All right.
Like, she didn't tell you. I mean, of course they could have looked it up, but still, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, probably. The kids rush in, and then they want to give Noah his Christmas present. They give Noah a PlayStation 5.
And I was like,
and I'm like, he is 9. What is a 10-year-old doing with a PlayStation 5?
Like, that's a pretty pricey gift for a kid you just met.
It really is. Also, earlier in the episode, because we knew Connor had a PlayStation 5, so they got Noah his own one. Noah was asking if he could play like Red Dead Redemption or something.
You should not be playing Red. It's not kids.
No.
No.
Olivia, say no. Your child is 9. No. It's a good game, and not for a kid.
Yeah, it is a good game, not for
like
a kid.
The boy was like, "Have you ever?" Connor was like, "Have you ever played it?" And Noah's like, "No."
There's a reason why you have a kid.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, and they gave that whole.
And they also
give
Olivia a gift, and like Connor does it like while he's smiling, and Olivia smiles at him. We don't really know what the gift was. You just know that Olivia got a gift.
Yeah, they were just like, what is it?
Oh, you made a note. I like this note, and you're right. You said that a PS5.
Because I have a whole theory about something, but we'll get to that after.
Billing and making sure your account is real. We'll get to that. We get to Olivia and Finn talking in his office. And Olivia, who had not been here for the entire case, is finding out that it gets Olivia is literally like looking at Finn in shock. She's like, a hung jury? How? And Finn is like, Muncie is gonna be asking for your forgiveness. And she's like, what did Muncie do?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, that's a question for her. But we also find out that basically it's a Hungary, so a mistrial. Carisi will retry it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it goes better that time around.
Yeah. I think you have to have new evidence.
Literally.
You can't try a person for
Damn
the same
it.
thing. They can't retry him until they have new evidence. You can't retry a person for the same crime
So
without
in
new
other words,
evidence.
I don't think this is going anywhere, unfortunately.
So I had to Google. I Googled this at one point. When when it was Wheatley, they can't retry him if he's alive. He probably is, but they can't. You can't be retried for the same crime unless you have new
Um,
evidence. So
Unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything because the only reason
the bad guy is
Elias,
dead. His
yeah,
dad,
the
he's dead.
real
Yeah.
bad guy is dead. Um, the only reason Elias ever did anything was because his father, and he's like mentally ill or something,
Mm.
and he did it because of his father. His father's not here. Why
Yeah,
do
because
it?
yeah,
So I just think it's just unfortunately these families are gonna have to go without justice, which sucks.
yeah,
But I don't think this guy is ever gonna do any of it again for them to be able to try it, which sucks.
yeah.
But also it makes me wonder what the jury was thinking. Like she's literally telling you all this horrible stuff you did and you still go to
They were like because it has to be
Hungary?
unanimous.
Like,
You have to have unanimous
yeah,
from the
it's just
jury.
like
So
you're
people were like,
hearing all the stuff that he did and you still think he's innocent. Just
we'll never know, I guess.
it really shows how much like a person's temper can screw things up, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, after that, like Olivia's like, oh great, now I gotta deal with this. But it's not important right now because she
Mm-hmm.
picks up her phone and calls Amanda and she's like, Amanda, I'm really sorry. And she says it 3 times. She says, please, please, please call me back. Oh wait, nope. I'm going ahead because I missed lines. Before we find out there was a hung jury,
Mm-hmm.
um, Amanda is talking to Carisi in his office.
Yeah,
Um, and she's like,
I
"How
love
did
this
it
scene.
go telling Liv?" And she's like, "It didn't go so well." And Carisi, being ever so supportive, says, "She'll come around."
Mm-hmm.
But is this making you like second guess taking the job? And he's like, "No." He said, "She'll come around, but you're still taking the job, right?" And she stops and she's like, "I am."
Mm-hmm.
And then she stops and says, I am, with like the biggest smile on her face. Like
Yeah.
Amanda is actually really happy about this job.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get this really sweet releasing moment that will be ingrained in my
Oh
brain
yeah, it's
forever.
perfect.
He puts his hand on her knee, and for the first time, we hear Carisi say, my wife.
Yeah, he kisses her
I
head.
don't
And
know
it's
what
so
it
sweet.
is, but I think it's literally hearing it in Peter's version of a Staten Island Carisi's
Yeah,
accent
wow.
that literally like made me squeal. He's like, "My wife, the professor, has a
Yeah,
nice ring to it," and I was like,
it's so cute.
"Ah, you said the words. You said the words."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we get the whole conversation about the Hun jury,
Mm-hmm.
and
This
Olivia
scene's so cute.
calling Amanda and saying, please call back," and Amanda is there. And she's like, and Olivia's like, I am so sorry. I
Mm-hmm.
shut down. And Amanda's like, you stole one of my moves. And she's just like, Olivia is happy for Amanda and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she's like, um, but Amanda's like, we're friends, right? That's not gonna change. And Olivia's like, no, but it's gonna be weird not seeing you every day.
Yeah.
And Amanda's like, yeah. Um, and Olivia makes a note and she said like puts in and she's like, if you want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But then they cut to Amanda's facial expression and she's just like basically like it's I'm happy with my decision.
Yeah.
I'm
But who knows? We'll see. You never know about
you
this
never
show.
know. But from the way it
Uh,
looked like
that was gonna
Kelly's
be
face,
enough.
it literally looked like yeah. And then Amanda's like, okay. I mean Olivia's like, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two hug. And
Mm-hmm.
then we get the lines that everybody had been waiting for. We hear
Yeah.
it in the promo, and this is where I
Mm-hmm.
started tearing up again.
Mm-hmm.
And Olivia hugs Amanda and says, I love you, Amanda. And
Mm-hmm.
Amanda replies back, I love you, Liv.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly said so herself that when they were filming this scene, it was absolutely her and Nourishka.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia tells Amanda, don't postpone joy. And Amanda replies back, you too. They
Mm-hmm.
break the hug, and Amanda stands in the doorway and she just stops for a moment. And I love what the camera did. They like zoomed in on Kelly just staring at the door,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the door with tears in her eyes, taking a big breath. And they show Olivia like shaking a bit, watching it like this is the last time my friend is going to step out of my office as a detective.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda takes a big breath and finally walks out in the main precinct where
Mm-hmm.
we see all of the officers and everything applauding her.
Yeah.
Um, they basically give her a big farewell. She gives Velasco a hug. She gives Finn a hug and he says, I love you, boo, which I thought was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Muncie is standing there like applauding, and everybody like made the comment of like, oh, she didn't hug Muncie. I'm like,
She just met
the
her.
woman
Calm
cannot
down.
be there.
Calm
Like
down.
she knows enough to go support Amanda. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
forgets that. Like I feel like a lot of people forget that they did work together. They seemed like
They
had
worked
it
pretty well together.
wasn't close, but they were amicable.
Yeah. They made it work.
But she knew Finn and Velasco for longer. They're gonna get hugs, but Muncie is still
Yeah.
going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Say bye and support.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love how the camera kept switching back and forth between Amanda and Olivia and just showing how freaking proud
Yeah.
of it was Olivia is, and I'm like I wrote it's the looks of pride and respect
Yeah.
and love, well bittersweet. And then we get the shot of Kelly hugging like this officer. We don't know who it is. It's
Somebody
just
who's been there. It's a bunch of random people. They don't even care. The plot line doesn't care about
yeah,
certain
they're
extra
just
people. But
there. She gets it. We see then the camera starts to zoom in on Kelly's face as she is hugging the officer. She hugs the officer, and we get one final look of Kelly looking at the camera, smiling. And that is when
mm,
I burst into tears. I was a sobbing mess. Like, I was shaking. I was sobbing. My parents are looking at me and they're like, Kelly. And I'm like, I was literally like
like it's
full
not just
on sobbing. I like, this is how bad it was. My parents were like, oh, it's okay. Look, Jet is coming. And I'm still
I'm like it's not. We
sobbing.
have a problem right now. I don't remember how I felt. I
Like,
was pretty sick that
this
day.
is the
I was.
shot. Like,
Oh yeah. I was pretty
this is
sick
going to be
Thursday, so like, I
brain.
don't remember how I just remember like watching it and then being out of my mind.
Like, I wrote on Twitter after it that, like, that shot needed
Yeah.
no words to show the impact that Kelly and Amanda had
Mm,
all these years. So I was a sobbing wreck because of it.
mm.
I honestly think I will give this episode 4.5 to 5 stars.
Yeah, there's
I thought
some.
it was it
Yeah,
perfect?
no, it was not
No,
perfect. But we're gonna
but
talk
I
about
think it was
how
gonna give it like
it could have been better, Lita. So before we move on to the trailer, I do want to talk about like I'm saying the logistics of this episode and how it like was put out there could have been a bit better because uh I forgot I had a lot of things
Everybody
to say about this
agreed
several
that
days ago.
Noah's brother thing did not need to
That
be this
in this
episode.
episode,
But then
like
again,
the
like
Christmassy part of it worked, but the Christmassy
if she
part
didn't
worked. They could have,
go there, they would have been able to. They wouldn't have like found the
yeah,
camera in the motel room, done all
yeah,
of
that part
Olivia
because you kind
stuff.
of needed some of it. You needed some of it, but I would have stretched this out. I would have made that like an arc instead of an episode part. I would have put them like the parents being a bit more suspicious in like the next episode or something like to drag that out a little longer because it didn't it like sure it was good in the episode, but it would have been better if they had more time to fully develop that plot because like it being Amanda's last episode, I think they could have focused a little bit more on
Amanda.
yeah. I mean, sure, there's no storyline is fine, but they could have focused a bit. They could have like they could have done more. There's so much more that could have been done with that. You know, like sure it's a 48
Like
minute show, but like
we got
we no, this is the unpopular opinion. I mean, not really. I kind of have this opinion too. It's a bit rushed. Like they had so much. Like we knew like episode 9 was gonna be the last episode for Amanda, so they had time to put together a better arc out than they did because they kind of just were like
they
you mentioned
mentioned a
they mentioned
proposal and we never
no proposal,
got
just
it.
straight to the
Damn
wedding.
it.
No, just straight to the wedding. They
Wedding.
they the wedding.
I mean,
They didn't have it the big. Yeah, sure,
they're
fine.
getting
That's
people apparently.
their wedding. They didn't. They could have like. I feel like that was a bit a rushed. Like they were like, okay, we just get her married piece. It was a bit of a rushed thing. I think we think it could have been better. They couldn't have written it in a way that made the door more open. Like maybe Carisi could have proposed instead of they getting married on this episode because it's a lot of stuff to kind of like cram into an episode to be like, oh, they suddenly decided they were getting married. Like they could have talked
like
them talking about it would have been a better solution, I think.
Yeah, like we thought the pictures from the bed scene, like we thought, oh,
They were
Carisi's gonna
earlier.
that scene.
Yeah.
We thought
That's what we thought. And they could have got married at the end or something like that. They could have spread it out like that, but they were just like, oh no, they're getting married. Like, and they like the show didn't explain why they suddenly chose to get married. It was just like, oh, they were in the bed. Oh, they're getting married. Like they could have explained this why they chose this at this very moment more.
Like, yeah. Overall, I give 4.5 stars.
Yeah. The episode's good.
Because of like the non-necessary stuff that was needed and also not the full focus on Kelly.
They could have executed the episode.
Everything that we got from Kelly and Amanda was fire. Like whether it was
what was there was good, but
mixed fire.
What was there was good. It just was not executed as well as it could have been. So
also, it's not the last time we're going to see Amanda.
No, it's not.
Which means
we know of. Anything could change.
The grieving process again.
The grieving process.
We're all gonna have to go through the grieving process again because apparently she's coming back on an episode of organized crime.
Yeah, in the
later season that Kelly can't talk about yet. So we're gonna get to see her on our screen again and then lose her again.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We
the
know nothing. No idea. No idea what's
gonna be about. Also, luckily Danielle and Kelly are freaking talking on Instagram, and Danielle is like, "I wish I could have worked with you more," or like missed working with you, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now? Can't do this." Yeah, but if we get an organized crime episode again with her, God help me, you better give me Ayana and Amanda stuff right over riot.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, back to SVU. The promo. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, I watched the thing like 15 times because I was trying to get myself together.
From like
we knew what was going to
stuff
happen.
That Benson was getting targeted by people.
Yeah, we knew
Except my parents, who saw it for the first time that night and were like, oh my God, And I'm
My
like,
mom did the same thing. I was like,
yeah.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And I was like,
Yeah,
it's
because
like seeing it like
in
seeing
on
it from like some
like
person's phone is different than seeing it like
because the
screen.
camera angles were different.
Yeah, the camera angle makes
So
it like way more intense than it like
yeah, so
cameras are such
basically
an important the
yeah, camera
trailer.
angles.
I've watched it like 18 million times, so I do know what happened in the trailer. So the beginning part, Olivia's talking about how like I worked a couple months ago, which we know this was like September. I worked a gang case, and now they're like targeting me. And then like there's a scene of like her walking with Noah, and there's like a BX9 symbol on a building
Wait, is
somewhere.
Noah in the scene?
I think he is. I think unless those scenes are like right after each other, he might be in the scene, which makes it even
Unless
worse.
he like
It's not clear.
finds her
I
afterwards.
think he might find her because like they're like it's the scene, and then you hear like they have him like saying "mom." He screams "mom."
He literally like blood curdlingly screams "Mom," and that's the end of the promo. And I'm like,
Uh,
no
maybe he finds.
freaking
I think
way.
he
They're
finds.
like, are
That's
they?
it.
They're gonna let this kid
See his mom. He
see
shows mom.
Olivia
It is bad. Like you
battered and
never.
bruised.
Yeah.
Like, freak it. They said they were gonna give Olivia trauma this season. They really have to rope her son into it.
Yeah, it's not good. So basically, like the trailer shows like
Yeah. So
the two
basically,
guys
like
are across the street. The two maybe I think that's like
and
across
she's
like where
literally
she
like
was. I think
on
it's her
her
apartment building.
phone.
Okay, hold on.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
she's
where she
on
was.
her phone.
I don't think she is. I think we made that up actually. That's the part we made up, I think.
Thought she was. Okay. Mandela
We made that
effect.
up. We wrote a
But
fic about it,
she's walking up
but
the
we never.
street, and all of a sudden, a motorcycle comes
Yeah, the
whizzing
first.
past
I
her.
think the building across from her is an apartment, or maybe her apartment. I don't know for certain what that is. I think it's an
Yeah.
apartment
So the
building
guy on the motorcycle comes whizzing
because she
past her,
pulls her gun and says she's police, and she starts walking
Oh
towards
yeah.
them, and then
And then the motorcycle whizzes past her and knocks her to the ground. And then we get the
yeah,
camera angle of the two guys staring down at her, which was fire, by the way. And then we get they literally show this is when my parents were like, oh my god. They show one guy kicking Olivia and the other guy pulling out a machete.
yeah.
And then it goes to black and we hear the Noah screaming mom. End promo.
Yeah, I was just like, what am I supposed to do with? We do know that.
I
with
mean,
more
both of us
context.
are mad. Like both of us are mad for the same reason. Amanda's not there to comfort Olivia after she
Yes,
getting
like,
attacked. How dare?
how dare they? She better get a phone
So
call or
here's the
something.
they gave us the official description through the episode, and we know it is called Jumped In.
Yeah, we knew that for a while.
There's a few different things going on in this episode. So, first part is when Benson becomes the target of a ruthless gang leader, Captain Duarte, the guy from the gang unit, the one who Muncie used to work for.
Yeah, from the one you
takes the case.
We haven't seen.
And then Finn works with the Bronx SVU to help clear their case backlog, which should be interesting. And then last thing, and I wrote little mini crossover, and I'm glad they're remembering this. And I'll explain after once we say it. And it says Sergeant Dixon offers to translate when a deaf student is raped. So, Sergeant Dixon is from the Law and Order the Law and Order. We found out a few weeks ago when there was like a deaf girl who they needed to interview for a case. We find out that on the show Dixon's son is deaf, and so she knows sign language. So now they're gonna bring her in to translate for the deaf student who was raped. It will also be very interesting to see how they go about that case. And I forget where I saw this, but I think in real life Cameron is like either A, does know sign language. I read somewhere that she used to be like an interpreter. So she actually is like really good with her sign language. So there's that. We got about 7 minutes to do SVU. I mean, organized crime.
Oh, I had a whole theory. That's what I was gonna go through. I had a lot.
Oh yeah, do you theory?
I was
And then you're
insomnia.
talking.
Really,
My throat is killing me.
I had a lot to think about when I went to bed. Where is this? Is on my phone. My notes on not my notes, not on Google Docs. Not that. That's weird. What did I call that? I'm notoriously known for a lot of phone notes. Okay, where did I put that? Where did I put
I should go get water, but I'm too lazy to stand up.
Not that one. That's really time. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. Okay. We talked about a lot of this stuff anyway. So the short, simple version is what if this is a long shot because I made this up at like what time did I write this? Because I wrote this at 12:56 p.m. that night. But what if that like BX9 find out about this family? Because I mean, like they're probably smart people. You could probably figure that if you wanted to. And they blackmailed the family into getting Olivia's trust. So then she would be alone. And that's basically like my short, simple version of everything I typed because I went on this whole tangent, which we don't need to go on because we covered it already. So, because and also I said, if we don't get a check-in from Amanda and Barbara, I'm committing arson and throwing the show away.
Yep. Yeah, that was, and I said yep.
But yeah,
the very least, Amanda.
Yes, something, please. Yeah, because like the family's a little too perfect and it's weird, and I got trust issues. This whole show gives me like, I'm like, I don't even trust those people. That basically was it. I'm not this. I went on this whole long explanation that we don't need to go into. So let us know what you all think. You literally, if you're on Spotify, you can literally like tell us. Like you can leave comments on Spotify if you didn't know. You can do that if you want. There's a Q&A thing. You can type stuff in there if you want. But that's what we had to say about that. Before we get to organized crime, is there anything else?
Nope, I'm taking a talking break.
Okay, I don't remember much of it, but we're gonna go on it. So
we'll
make another. We'll make another Zoom so we can have it not cut off. So we'll be back in a second. Okay. So now we have to talk about organized crime, which is called Last Christmas. But nothing actually happened. There wasn't very much Christmas in the episode.
It was literally just at the beginning where I was still like crying mess. Yeah. I was still like crying mess. They didn't give me much time to literally sobbing into a pillow as it started. And that's why my parents were like, "Look, Kalli, Jet, still okay."
There wasn't much. It was so the beginning.
Start with Whelan being the sweetest little thing ever. He got everybody Christmas presents 3 weeks early.
Yeah, there's a nobody there. Yeah.
He literally hands one to he gives one to Reyes and Reyes is like, "Oh, okay." He hands it to Jet and Jet's like, "Oh, you did it." I will. Even like the wrapping paper was like cool.
He's very true. He tried very hard, and I'm for people he didn't know
really very tried hard. He's like, "Oh, you did it." I don't know what they got. I'll have to look to see if I can find like what they got. But
he only been there like for them to only known them a couple of months.
Ayana's office. And he's like, "I know it's 3 weeks early, but I got you a Christmas present." And Ayana was like, "Oh, it's just kind of sweet." And she's just holding it. And Whelan's like, "Open it. You can open it now." And I'm like, "Okay." And he is like at the beginning, like I'm like, "Okay, dude, you are." I thought he was kind of like inconsiderate because like he's literally drinking like Jet's coffee, asking her too many questions. All that. He's actually. Well, we find out he's actually turning over a new leaf or growing more comfortable with like the squad, and he's actually really thoughtful.
Yeah, he bought them Christmas.
He got Ayana sage. Yeah. And he got Ayana like pulled out like an herb, and he's like, "Sage to cleanse your new office." Yeah. And I'm like, I was like, "Oh my word!"
Very.
That's so thoughtful. And she's like, thank you. And he's like, I know and I think he says something about like, I know I haven't been here long, but um, just thank you, Sergeant. That type of stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's very nice of him.
Elliot walks in, and I think he's like, Jamie's like, all right, I'm gonna go put a present on your desk, and Elliot's like, okay.
Plus,
um, then we get another continuum to
yeah,
Ayana and Elliot
the fight from the
argument
last
last
episode.
episode.
They literally had a fight last episode.
Then basically Ayana
Basically, if you don't remember the fight,
like
basically
Elliot,
Elliot was acting all crazy because I mean, what I
yeah,
said, Ayana had
Elliot
him about. He was all mad she
Ayana's like,
made the choice without him.
yeah. Ayana's like, you went behind my back. And Elliot's like, well, you abandoned us. And Ayana's like, abandoned? I didn't abandon it.
Yeah.
I
The
didn't
whole thing was
abandon the
shut down.
union.
That wasn't her fault.
And Elliot's like, what is this? And we find out Ayana is doing this for her family. That's why she's taking the new job. And Elliot's like, what about this family? What about the squad? And then we transition to Jet, Jamie, and Bobby have heard the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this is how funny it was to me because I was still crying by this point. And all of a sudden, like, Jet's literally just in her office in her usual, like, usual monotone voice says, Merry Christmas, everyone. And I burst out laughing. I'm like, okay, yep, this is what I needed.
This is
like, it's hilarious.
A queen.
And I wrote, I think one of us wrote, I forget who wrote it. We wrote, Ayana doesn't owe Elliot an explanation for why she's taking the job. But she basically says she's taking the new job because it would give her more stable hours so she could get shared custody of her child.
Yeah. Literally,
like understandable.
She's trying to get her family back. You know, they ruined her family for no reason. She's trying to get her family back. And he wants to be a jerk about it.
Well, yeah. Then they're like, okay, we got one last case to deal with while we're still here.
Last one.
But they're all like still like iffy and angry with each other.
Yeah.
We find out that Teddy Silas's dad, Robert Silas, wants to meet to like surrender, talk about a case, whatever. But for whatever freaking reason, they let him pick the place,
the location. Like, come on,
pick the location, and he ends up picking a location that has 0 cell service.
I was like, come on, y'all. When you figured this out, you should have known this was
first warning. Yeah, literally,
warning.
like that's not enough reason
that
enough
was
for you.
That was the first warning.
That's not
come
reason
on,
enough.
y'all. That was the first.
And Ayana had it for a minute because she was on the phone with Jet and she was asking her to do stuff, and then it cut out. It must, yeah. And so Elliot and Ayana go to talk to Robert. Elliot tells Robert that because it's about they're talking about like what he did to Pearl and like they're trying to get a deal for him. Because apparently he apparently has a brain tumor and was supposed to drop about a year ago. Now they're trying to figure out a deal so he doesn't fully have to go to prison.
Yeah.
So Elliot tells him that Pearl is pregnant. And he had no idea. And Elliot's like, they were gonna name their child after you. And he's like, shit. We go outside and the ADA that was supposed to be coming to help Ayana and Elliot make a deal arrives. And he's like mentioning things about Elliot, and he didn't really trust Elliot just alone in there with Robert.
Yeah.
And Ayana literally, this is how much like this stuff must be screwing with her head.
Yeah.
She took the guys like, oh yeah, I'm the ADA, just word of mouth. No
I'm like, I
credentials.
need,
Look
I'm
for
like, I need some proof.
credentials or anything. She just
Like, no, I don't want
let
to. I
him
was like,
in there. And then about 5 minutes later, another car pulls up,
yeah, it's not that much long later.
and another guy pulls out, and he pulls out his badge, and Ayana's like, "Who are you?" And he's like,
The
"The
ADA.
ADA who's there to help you." And Ayana's
And
like,
we're like, oh shit.
"Shit."
It's so
He
those
has
moments.
like literally like
They
the guy
walk that
really
guy
in there with
in.
Elliot and Robert. Ayana has to run in the building as fast as she freaking can. But unfortunately, she like twists her ankle or hurts herself on a broken
Yeah,
floorboard and is bleeding.
yeah.
And now they're like, crap, because they have to go take care of this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know who the frick he is, and they
Yeah,
gotta get the other
trying to catch the other guy. On there.
get the other guy. Um, eventually, um,
The crew, the rest of the gang shows up.
I called them the young ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call them.
They
The young ones arrive. So
do. They
Jet,
really.
Bobby, and
Oh,
Jamie arrive,
yeah,
and they see the actual ADA standing out
yeah,
there, and they're
yeah.
like,
And
"What's
they're like,
going on?" He's like, "I don't know. I was just told to stand here. Your sergeant's in there." And then they
and
hear
they're
a
like,
gunshot. I'm pretty sure, and Jet freaking goes full
yeah,
like takes charge of the group, and she
yes,
literally says in a commanding tone, stay here, keep calm." And then the young
yeah. I
ones
was like,
run in the building, guns blazing.
yes.
um yay.
I was like, look
um
at them go.
Go Jet, go. um they all run in. um
Mm-hmm.
the mysterious and false ADA
Yeah,
comes in, and he tries to attack Elliot with the stuff in a fire extinguisher.
yeah.
Woo. um Jet, then he tries to shoot Jet, and Jet
Yeah.
gets shot at multiple times, and Wheeling goes to check on her, but she's literally like backed into a corner by like gunshots, and I am like,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no,
Like,
no, I
no,
can't deal with
cannot.
any more
Can't,
sadness today.
no, we have to protect her. Protect Jet at all costs.
Exactly. Protect Jet
At
at all
all.
costs. Protect the baby.
At
Protect the
all
baby.
costs. Yes,
Say it again. I don't think they heard you.
I said we have to protect Jet at all costs. Do not understand what this means to us.
Yes. Um, and I'll explain why later, because there is another thing that I have to share that I almost forgot about. Anyway, Waylon goes to check on her, make sure she's okay. And then they have to keep running to go find the guy. They're literally looking for the guy, and an entire shelf falls on Reyes. And I'm like,
We're like, oh no.
luckily he gets out. Um, and then at that point, like Ayana is like looking around for the guy, and the camera cuts to the guy's like around the corner, and he can see Ayana, and he's about to shoot her,
Mhm.
but Elliot sees him first and shoots the guy out the window.
He
Like
shoots it like
apparently the
five
gunshot was so
times.
powerful it
Well, he
freaking
shot like five. Well,
knocked
if
the
you like,
guy out the
well,
window.
if you look at it, Mark Elliott shot like five times. There has like five
Oh.
gunshot wounds in the chest. Like I was
But
like, bro.
anyway, the guy falls out of the glass window. Elliot saved Ayana.
Yep. Woo. For once you did something. All right.
And then the one point, I forget who says it. I think it's either Elliot or Jet, or maybe Reyes, because Reyes is in the room. Reyes or Jet. They see
One of the guys.
Ayana's injury, and they're like, Sarge, and she's like, "Stop looking at my leg and let's go."
And I was like,
Well, unfortunately, whoever the frick that false ADA was had more people coming.
yeah, a lot of people
Um,
came.
and they come in. Well, they're outside. They're outside, and like Whelan is out there, and one of them shoots Whelan in the arm. And we're like, oh crap. Um, Jet's literally like they're coming like cockroaches.
Yeah, there's so many people like they're
Excessive.
surrounded.
Um,
Mhm.
they're literally like in the
Mhm.
um
There were,
they're literally in the like safe like security room like with
yeah,
Robert being like, what the frick is going on? Well,
literally.
we find out that these guys who have just showed up want Robert Silas.
Mhm.
They're like, okay, if you give us him, you all get to go home and be alive.
And then they were like,
If not, we're going to kill you all.
mm,
Um, and they unfortunately they like can't find figure out what room they're in or like what else they're supposed to do because they're like it's
stuck.
literally like
They're
5
surrounded.
of
People are,
them versus an
there's,
entire group of people.
yeah, there's, yeah.
And then organized crime remembers something this time.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
they pull
They're
out
even
like they
worse
have
at
like
plot
blueprints of the
contingency.
building, and Ayana's like, "How are we gonna figure this out?" And Jet's like, "I got this." And she starts reading the blueprints like she did when McLean um taught
Oh yeah.
her and Malachi to read blueprints in the last Wheatley episode. And I love that they freaking remember that. And it also shows that Jack Jet is really smart when it comes to other
Yes.
things, not just tech.
She
That
knows
she
all
can
kinds of
read
stuff.
blueprints and do it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're all like talking of like about something. Um like the case, maybe the unit, just things going on. And Ayana at one point is like, I am fine.
Yeah.
Like she's
And they
basically
asked,
like, all of you stop.
and they're like,
Go ahead.
yeah, I forgot what it was, but I forgot they were looking at. They were just concerned about her. They were
Yeah,
concerned,
and she's
like
like,
good
I
friends.
am fine. Because they're also
Like,
had to deal with like the fact that like um
she's hurt.
Reyes just got
Right.
shot, and
Yeah.
she's like, because this is
Not
and they're
Reyes.
and then she's literally Yana, I love this line. She's
Jamie.
like, because this is my task force and I'm not leaving a man on our last day. I
Yeah.
don't know if exactly she remember if she was talking about Whelan or Silas, but anyway, she's not leaving anybody behind. Thinking
Yeah.
she's talking about her unit, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
She's not
and they
leaving
show
the
Ayana
last.
bandaging Whelan, and she's like, this is gonna be this will hold you over until we can get you out of here and actually get you medical attention.
Mm-hmm.
Then we find out that the bad guys got the actual ADA and holding him hostage, and then
Yeah.
it's like, you
Oh,
give us
oh.
Robert, you won't die. You don't give us
Yeah.
Robert, you all die.
And now they're like,
And they're like, how the frick do we get a signal to anybody? There's no signal. We're all running
yeah.
low on ammo. We're screwed. And
It's
so
not gonna work.
Elliot and Reyes go out on the roof,
Outside on the roof.
try to figure out how to get more signal.
Yeah.
And Reyes finds out he has signal, and Elliot like takes his phone, and he's like,
Yeet.
"You have signal?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's a new phone. I got signal."
He's like,
Oh,
no,
and
what?
this is when Elliot takes his phone. He's like, "Can I see?" Yeah, and then like Elliot's like holding up his phone, checking more signal
Yeet.
for more
Yeets his
signal,
phone off the
and chucks it
Yeah.
as
Like,
far
what?
as he can throw it.
You're like, what?
And Reyes is like, and Elliot's like, "I'll buy you a new one." And Reyes is
No.
like, "My wife got me that phone."
They're behind this nice front.
Well, they use it. Like we find out, like it's because there's
There's
like
a
an
reason why he did that.
emergency like
He had
thing
a
in it.
thought purpose for doing it, not
He
just
actually had a thought first. There's an emergency thing in it, and they're hoping if it goes off, that backup will be able to come.
anyway,
But
we'll get back
like,
to that in a second because he talks about
tell
it.
the
But
guy,
yeah, not just I'm
tell
gonna
the
use
guy
your
before you
phone. Just
decide
tell
to
you.
take his phone and throw it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was afraid he was gonna say no. He's just like, I'll just eat your phone without your permission.
And literally, Reyes is like, his face is like, my wife got me that phone.
Oh man.
Then we finally get the Ayana and Jet conversation I have been
Yeah.
looking for weeks.
Oh,
Because ever
geez.
since Jet had like started to figure out that like
Mhm.
maybe there's something she needs to worry about. And she's like asking
Yeah.
Ayana, and Ayana's not saying it. And Jet and her were never freaking meeting eye to eye on their conversations. And it would
Yep.
just end quickly. And I'm like, you need to talk. Even
Yeah.
then, when I saw them like talking, I was like, you need to talk.
We've been saying
Well,
this for weeks. No one seems
Ayana
we
starts
seem
to
to be
bring
able
up
to
like
predict things.
that she like heard Tia talking to her about Jet taking a job in Italy.
Yeah.
And Jet's like, yeah. Um,
Mhm.
this is where my heart like
Yeah.
melted but also hurt at the same time.
Mhm.
And Ayana's like, I gave you a glowing recommendation if you want to go. First, the fact that Ayana gives Jet a
Yeah.
glowing recommendation,
Glowing recommendation. Mhm.
proves just how much Jet,
Mhm.
like Ayana, values Jet. Not only at her job,
Mhm.
like the
But as
tech
a
side,
person,
but like as a
or
person,
yeah,
exactly.
as a person,
Which I've
you need
been
to write.
saying for months
Yeah,
now,
we've
and
written
now
it really well
finally have
too.
proof of it.
We've been working on that. We worked on a lot of things.
And then Jet, like this is like we get very few moments of scared Jet, and we finally got one, and she starts shaking her head like it's like little shakes, like little nervous shakes, like,
Mm-hmm.
and she says, Sarge, I don't want to go. And she says it
I
in
was
like
like,
a really like quiet, tiny Jet voice, and
yeah,
she's like, Sarge, no, I can't do Jet. Only Ainsley can do Jet. She's like,
yeah,
Sarge, I don't want to go. And I'm
yeah.
like,
I know
ah.
she did want to go.
That okay, so after that scene, I'm like, oh my god, emotions. So we
So
find
many
out that the
emotions.
reason Elliot threw the phone is because
Yeah,
it would detect a crash,
they
and
do.
then the police come. I also made a note that I'm like, then tell him you're gonna throw it before you throw it,
Yeah. Like,
because
here's my
they're like
idea.
giving,
Let me just. He's gonna be like, "Yo, I had
yeah,
an idea. You know, that would have been useful." Be like, "Hey, here's an idea.
yeah.
If you throw your phone off
Because
the
they're
field
literally
detective."
like, I they're telling Ayana what happened, and I'm like, Elliot's like, I threw his phone far so we get a break, like, to would react, and um,
It's.
oh my god, and then Reyes says, so far.
Oh, he says it still works so far. Like, he says it'll still work. Yeah,
No,
we're
I
like,
think
come
that
on,
was
you could have.
talking about how far he threw it. Elliot's like, I threw it
Yeah.
far, and he's like, so far.
Oh yeah. I feel like
You wrote
Elliot could,
Elliot
but
used his
Elliot's not a
brain for
person.
once.
He doesn't use his words. We've talked about this. He
No,
doesn't use his words. He could have just said, "I'm a," told the plan instead of just
no.
executing the plan. He was just like,
All right. Um,
anyway. Sorry, that's enough of a
then they
tangent.
get into the group gets into a like they're all literally like buckling down, getting into a
Mm-hmm.
shootout. We find out that once again, Jet is a good shot because she gets like one of like the main guys, um, that was like
Mm-hmm.
about to
Shooting
kill
at them.
somebody. I don't know. And then when Jet makes a good shot, and I was like, yes. Then they all have to run into after they start shooting. They'll have to run back into the office, and they literally, Les Mis style, start forming a barricade with desks and chairs.
They do. They were like,
Um,
well,
hoping that will hold them until
mm,
unless they have to like shoot anybody. And they're all like looking at each other. Ayana is there, and they're all just like any anger that they had about each other is gone. They need
mm-hmm.
to band together so they can all survive and get out of
Yeah,
here.
I gotta make it out
And
of here.
then, just as the guys are about to like break into their barricade, the
Mm-hmm.
sirens go off. The the alert and help arrives, and they
Oh,
all
they see the helicopter lights and the helicopter
scatter.
sign
They all
lines are coming.
scatter.
Yeah, we're like, woohoo, what
And
they're
then
saying.
the task force is literally like all breathing a sigh of relief. They're all
Mm-hmm.
standing up. Ayana and Reyes hug And his phone still works. We find out his
Yeah,
phone
that's it.
still works.
You know, music it still.
Um,
Please.
and they do like
Like we said, organized crime is comedy gold. Go watch that
yeah.
episode because that episode was funny. Go watch
This
that
episode, like
episode.
literally, I don't know who the frick came up with this part, but it's
Why does
hilarious.
the show
to
should
me.
be funny instead of
Um,
serious?
yeah. So Jamie gets his like wound checked out, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, my arm will be fine." Although I think it might have ruined my, or like partially ruined my SpongeBob tattoo. And Jet looks at him dead in the eye, and she's like, "You do not have a SpongeBob tattoo. Like, no way in hell. Like, you're kidding me," type thing. And he's like,
Like
"Long story. I think he mentioned he was drunk,
probably. I
or
feel like
there
this kind of
was a
seems like
bet
really
or something." But I'm like, that's freaking hilarious.
that's funny. Who's writing these funny things in the
Um,
show?
the squad go back to the bureau, and it's being renovated because apparently it's like being turned into like office buildings or whatever.
Yeah, lame.
And yeah, Lillian shows up to like congratulate Ayana on like one last great case, and now you're gonna get this job. And Ayana's like, "I'm not taking the job." And Lillian's like, "What?" She's like, "Do you know what I had to do to get you
Sorry,
that job?"
I had an idea, but that's for later. Had to write that down. That's for later. Anyway, please, that's hilarious. Like, we'll write that later, but not anytime soon. Had to remember that, so I had to tell you.
Oh, that's
Like,
oh god, hilarious.
please, we'll write that later. That's if we want to be funny. We want our funny tangent instead. Anyway, back
That's
to the
hilarious.
episode because we're almost done.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Lillian's like, "Do you know what I had to do to get you this job in the first place?" And Ayana's like, "My place is here with the team." And Lillian's like, "You're making a mistake." And she's like, "No, the mistake I made was saying yes in the first place."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, great, because that means we still get the task force and everything. But like, what does that mean for Ayana? Like, she said she was doing this for her family. Like,
Yeah.
what does this mean for Jack and Bellox? And I can't lose
Yeah.
all
I
that."
got questions. Like,
Um, and Lillian's like, "Fine," and just leaves angrily.
mm-hmm.
And then Elliot's there, like, and he's like, "Oh, did I miss something?" She's like, "Nope, just staying where I belong," type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "I think it's time I do something." And she pulls out the
Sage.
sage that Jamie gets him, and Jamie gets her and says, um, that what she did was it's what was best for us, for all of us. And she starts like, like, like
Waving the
not,
sage. Put
and
him
then
in
Nayana
the
starts using the sage to like cleanse the office for a new start. And then Elliot says, "Go a couple of times around my desk," and Ayana says, "Oh, I will."
Me, my.
Like, of course
Of
I
course,
will.
it's
But she says it like I can't like her Ayana sass way. She's like, "Oh,
yeah.
I will." It was
Yeah.
funny.
And
And then that was
yeah.
the end of the episode. What do you give this episode?
3.
Yeah, I say 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
Just because I like the little like personal things they
Yeah,
added,
the
like
little
the Christmas
personal
gift
things, sure.
and the comedy.
Yeah, it's
Is
a little
cute.
funny. But like
Um,
I was just like, eh.
so
The
then we
storyline
get the
behind that was just
demo.
kinda eh. It was a
Yeah,
little eh.
everything else was just the comedy and the little personal
Funny.
touches were great though.
Made it
And like
redeemable,
the
but I
just
didn't
emotional like teamwork thing.
Yeah.
Also,
They band together to
freaking
live.
Danielle as Ayana leading the squad is fucking talent,
Yes.
fucking gold,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody and
Yeah.
not enough people recognize it, and you
They
need
really
to
don't.
people.
And I feel like that's kind of the show's fault for doing that. But anyway, that's another tangent for another day.
Anyway,
Um
then we get the
uh
promo of how
it's
there's
called
this
yeah, I've like
new
the episode is called Trap.
trap.
Yeah, it's called Trap.
Yeah, fun. Um, we get this game.
I have a lot of questions because like they said the task force was closing and then the task force is reopening, but for what purpose? They gotta kind of explain that. It doesn't make any sense. They were
I
like,
don't know.
task force closed,
So
task force
like
reopened. How?
they literally, I have no idea how
It doesn't
this is
explain how they
happening,
reopen. Maybe
or
they'll talk about it
yeah,
at the beginning of the next one because it doesn't make sense for them to be like closed, open.
maybe.
We can only hope
So this
because that would be
fact,
weird not to explain that one.
yeah, there's this game from Miami that is now coming up
Yeah.
and like laying
It
their claim in
says
Needle.
there's one
And they're
the
not
information.
an ordinary game.
Mm-hmm.
They are a game that literally like their main thing is street racing.
Yeah.
Um, they like show
Someone
in the
it
promo like
says
cars like street racing
yeah. And
or like
Jamie's
race cars
there's street
driving.
cars I'm pretty
And
sure.
then for whatever reason, I don't really know how they come to the Amy, but and this that's the best idea. He's like, I've got this. And
Mhm,
they show him in a car in like an orange race car driving
mhm.
outfit about to do one of the races. But um like we've only seen him do like small undercover things before.
Yeah, and that's something
Chris
this
and
is.
Jet are the ones who have done like the bigger undercover
They were
things.
it was fantastic. It
Must be
says the episode
hilarious.
description says when an informant comes to Stabler for desperate for help, the task force sets their sights on a dangerous gang making their mark on New York. Jamie goes undercover, but soon realizes he may be over his head. Belle meets her new boss.
First off, oh great, he's in over his head. Also, new boss.
Wait, what does that mean? We'll find out, I guess, because I have no idea what it means.
New boss. Watch it just be Lillian.
They were
Just
like,
because we
surprise.
can't get her. Watch. I don't know. Just
Yep.
why? Did they have to give her a new boss? Let Ayana be her own boss.
They're
Leave
looking
her.
off. I mean, it's you never know. They probably are like when we
Uh,
lose one PP to the trust
yeah.
Elliot, and they're like you probably
Okay, so yeah,
barely
really,
even
probably that.
9 minutes. So we've done a
Um,
lot. Anything else about the
wait,
show?
there was more. One more organized crime thing we had to say before we did rating.
Oh,
At the end of the episode, um, Ainsley goes on Twitter and she writes, "Expect a tweet that like both of us started freaking out about. Maybe more
oh
me
yeah,
more
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but
I was very
the
sick that week. Honestly, I didn't know what
tweet
was
they
going
wrote
on.
was because it kind of just seemed like it came out of left field. I don't think we were expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they wrote, expect to see Jet out in the field a lot more this season. Hope you're all enjoying it as much as I am. Black heart, black heart, black heart. Um, and I just decided to reply because it's Ainsley. And I
Mm-hmm.
wrote,
You're welcome.
"Oh, I can't wait. Exclamation point. It's my favorite thing, especially any UC stuff." Thinking nothing of it. Cool. I
Mm.
wrote my reply, gonna go on with my life. About five
It was
minutes
bedtime.
later,
Let's go.
I get a notification on my phone and they liked my tweet. They liked my tweet.
You were like, Ainsley liked my tweet. I was like,
I literally wrote it in the doc in all caps.
and then
Ainsley
told
liked
me
my
that.
tweet.
I
Ainsley liked
was
my tweet.
delirious.
And I started squealing at my house, and my parents are like, "What?" And I was like,
Mm.
"Ainsley liked my tweet." And then they were like, "Who's Ainsley?" And I'm like, "Jet! The one who plays Jet!" And they're like, okay. but I was flipping out because I was not expecting to get
Yep.
a notice at all.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I'll write this, see what happens. They liked it. They really liked it.
You were very
I
excited
found the
about that.
thing. It's
What thing were we looking for?
just
Oh, your
you can't
tweet.
see it.
Yeah, no one can see
White.
because, but you know
It's
it's
white and blank, and it literally says my tweet
cannot.
is here.
You can't see it because it's literally what's. But
That
we
yeah.
fic writing. We'll go through it very quickly because we don't have a lot, but we have a lot. We've written a lot of fics in the past 3 weeks. We've done Resistance Christmas, which you probably won't read for a while because we probably just put it out when we get to that in the story, but we wrote part of it. We wrote Post Resistance Christmas, which will when y'all get to that part, it'll be fantastic. We love what we did with that. We're both writing Christmas fics on our own. Mine is almost done, I think. A couple more scenes.
Mine is almost done.
Good.
I think I just read it and then collect the references.
I have a couple
and
more
then
scenes.
post
Well,
it when
like
I post it.
I did do Christmas Day. I think that's what I'm missing. When I do Christmas Day, which probably won't be that long, but Christmas Day, I need to write that scene. That will be done. We've been the Resistance. We're hoping once after Christmas, once we get Christmas fixed out, we put the final touches on the first couple of chapters because we're hoping to polish up the last couple of first chapters.
Yeah,
and
hopefully for the new year.
For the new year, 2023, you'll get the Resistance. Hope because like a lot of it is written. A lot of like the first couple parts are in sequential order, and then like a lot of it just scattered ideas that we just have to put back together, and then it makes sense. Which we'll do eventually, but that is something else we need to do. We'll get back to writing after. I'm gonna make toaster strudels for dinner and make some hot chocolate, and that'll be dinner, I guess.
I got my dad went to the grocery store today, and he's like, "Do you need anything else?" I'm like, "Toaster strudels." I might go have those for dinner too.
We're gonna have toaster strudels for dinner.
Or hummus. I bought hummus and bread. I might eat that.
What did I eat? What else do we talk about? Yeah, so we worked a lot of fixed stuff. We'll try to get more organized so we can publish and put stuff out. Because we have a podcast
it's really
we
hard when
we have so many things in our little brains. We also we have a podcast episode we recorded when we talked about the first couple of chapters of The Resistance. We kind of read it to you guys explaining it. So once we publish the first, you'll get that episode. Like it was done like months ago. We recorded this a while ago. There's a random episode of the like explaining truth that we have that it's like a 45-minute episode. You could just randomly publish if y'all want that. Or we might just publish it just because 1 week if we're missing content.
Let us know if you want it.
Like it's just an episode we talked about the Truth Speaks episode. It's edited and everything. It just needs to be like put on the podcast. It literally just needs to be like it's done editing and everything. So if y'all want that, let us know. There's another random episode that I don't know what's even in it. This is an unlabeled file of something. I think it is another episode of The Truth Speaks. I just don't think I labeled it. We have a bunch of random clips that I just did not put in anything yet. So, also this will be. We'll see if we record next. We'll find out what we'll talk about next week. But we will say Merry Christmas to you all because it will be past Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Or whatever happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. We'll be an episode next week. We'll find out what it'll be though. If there's an episode next week, we'll say Happy New Year next week. We'll find out what happens. Because we have two before. There's next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that week before the new episode. So we have to think of two weeks of content. We'll figure it out. But
now, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. You're excited.
Or I saw this from a TikToker I follow, Youth Pastor Ryan, and his new expression is "Marry whatever you believe in." I like it.
I mean, fair. Whatever you believe in. If you don't believe in anything.
Marry whatever you believe in. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa if you celebrate Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate Hanukkah.
Happy everything. Or if not, have a great day. We love all you guys' love and support of our show.
Thank you so much for listening again.
Yeah, yes, and that is all. We will see you all
Bye.
next time on The Truth Runs Deep. Goodbye. Not